are live. Hello, my lovelies. How are you all doing this evening? Oh, wow. You said my words almost exactly. I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
I'm so awake right now.
Yeah, you're just crying. She's getting there.
I'm getting there. I'm waiting for my meds to kick in.
Paige is just like, I literally just woke up.
Yeah. And I don't normally sleep in on the weekends. Normally I'm like 8 o'clock and I'm up and running, but nope.
Not today.
Nope. Not today.
Not today.
Hey, at least you got up on time.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So this evening, this afternoon, I went and picked Braden up from a friend's house and brought him back over here and got to talking about I bought these like weird, and some of them are weird, some of them are extreme, some of them are nasty food and drink things, which when the vlog for this week posts, that'll be up, or for week 3 it'll be up, because we tried quite a few of them last vlog. I tried them too, but today Braden by himself, because none of us were willing to do it, did the Little Nitro world's hottest gummy bear. Ooh. Which is 9 million Scoville, which is 900 times hotter than a jalapeno.
No. No, thank you.
And I filmed him.
No, thank you.
I struggle with pepper.
Yeah, see,
just black pepper is too hot for me.
Xander wasn't willing to do it. None of us were willing to. But Braden's like, I'll do it. And
my
so he did it.
It's like Taco Bell fire sauce, and then that's it. That's it.
We put rubber gloves, we put gloves on him, and he opened it. And okay, me honestly, I probably would have just like licked the thing and that would have been more than enough, or bit it and then spit it right out. No, he put it in his mouth. He chewed it until it was absolutely nothing, and then he swallowed it. And he was crying. He was crying, and I asked him like the flavor, and he was just like hot. The poor guy, he drank like a third of a gallon of milk and was eating yogurt. And then afterwards he tried some other things, which this was all off camera. I mean, he'd had the milk on camera and the yogurt, but he was dying. And so he got chills. He had to put a hoodie on. He's like freezing. And then he regretted chugging so much milk and got very, very sick. But it was like by the time like that happened, the heat in his mouth had already gone away. And so when he got it all came back in his nose and his sinuses. Yeah, and then he was dying all over again. And so he like curls up in a ball, and then he goes and takes a nap, and he sets his alarm to go to work, but his phone dies. And so he woke up like 15 minutes after he was supposed to be at work, and he's like, hey, I need to go to work. And I was like, I didn't realize you had to go to work. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so he had to go to work like that. I'm like, we still have some more wild things for them to try. Like Xander and him are both going to try the Bean Boozled Fiery 5 challenge. Yeah. And then it goes from sriracha all the way up to, I think it's ghost pepper. No, Carolina Reaper. That's what it is. So really hot. Not as hot as that gummy bear, but really hot. And then we also have like some weird sodas, like sweet corn, Buffalo Wild Wings soda, pumpkin pie soda.
I'd try that one.
There was another one. Let's see. Did I say the sweet corn? Sweet corn, pumpkin pie. There was one more. We tried ranch dressing soda. That was... No. It smells so bad. It's like it
No.
didn't taste terrible, but it smelled horrendous.
Oh, no.
There's one
Nah.
other soda. I can't remember. We also tried one that was like the world's most sour soda, which was pretty much citric acid, and that was it. I was like, this is like just stomach lining, or it's just like stomach acid, nothing else. It was awful.
Mhm.
We've had peanut butter and jelly soda, which actually just kind of tasted like one of those flavored waters. Not didn't taste like peanut butter or jelly though.
We had those sodas one time, but I can't remember what they were.
Ranch dressing soda doesn't taste like ranch dressing either. And we tried the world's most sour cotton candy, and some other things in last week's video. So that's gonna that was a fun time, and I tried all the things too, right along with the guys. My cocktail of choice this evening, we have Angry Orchard Hard Cider, crisp apple. 2 apples in every bottle.
I got some decaf coffee.
I was like, I can have maybe a beverage, but then I have to drive, so I can't have anything crazy strong. I don't think this is crazy strong.
No.
And it's very fall. Tastes like apples.
Yeah, those are good.
So how have you done with the readathon? Kimberly?
No, I think I still have technically like 2 classes left. I think. But one is the what am I even reading? Can't reach it. So one is 365 days, which could probably literally be a day. And then the full moon coffee shop. So those are the 2 that I have left, which this one is also related to Magical Readathon too. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I need to finish Kingdom of the Feared first.
I've completed all the courses, but there were 2 the 2 sections where you have like multiple. I did 2 of those classes in each of them, and so I still have 1 book left that I want to read for this readathon, which I'm currently reading. I'm on like chapter 2. I just started tonight. I started while I was putting my makeup in a rush. I was able to finish all my classes, but I'm only halfway through the group book. Oh, I hope you love it.
Yeah, how are you liking it?
I completed all my classes, but I cheated and used middle grade in a children's book for 2 of them. Hey, that's not cheating. That still counts.
No, it counts.
Yeah, totally. I mean, if an audiobook counts, a children's book counts.
That's what half my reading is like audio these days.
Same. I'm loving the group book so far. Yay! So Debbie is actually, I don't know if she said anything in the chat. She is going to be one of the co-hosts for Merry Bookmas.
Oh, yay!
Yeah. And I just put in the little group chat with her and the other co-host that they could join the live tonight if they wanted, or they could just come and watch. But I don't know if the other co-host has even seen that message because I did it just like 20 minutes ago. But the other co-host is going to be Stephanie from Stephanie's Bookverse.
Hey!
I can't wait. So excited. I'm excited to have you. I really like her TBR game. I love TBR games. I struggle bus this month, though. Had to fly home to put our family dog down. That's so sad.
I'm so sorry. That sucks.
Yeah, no, that makes me want to cry. Because that's just so sad. And then I moved houses yesterday. Oh, my goodness. My new apartment is a dumpster fire, but I'm ignoring it tonight so I can hang out. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Yeah, that's tomorrow's problem.
You definitely hit the struggle bus. I struggle bus the first week of the read. I put on my thumbnail a little bus that said struggle bus on it.
I just feel I've been on a struggle bus for like the last like month and a half, I swear. I think it's because I'm going on a trip in like 2 weeks and I'm like, it's like senioritis where I'm like vacationeritis. I'm like, I'm ready. I don't care about anything else at this point. So,
yeah, I get that.
like that's all my focus is on is like now I have like a trip every single month. And so I'm just like, nope, that's where I'm at. I got nothing else to give. I just want to go on vacation, not do anything.
I feel you. This morning, so I made a friend on, so I met this lady and her husband on the cruise that Xander and I took from Barcelona back to Florida after our big European thing. And we were eating at the same time for dinner, and we were like all set at a table together. And, so their seats were like right across from ours. And so I saw them every night of this 14-day cruise. And so we made friends and we actually kept in touch. And this morning, her and I booked a back-to-back cruise. So 2 7-day cruises back-to-back together, just the two of us. We're going to go down to Florida, hop on a cruise. One week goes Western Caribbean, then we go and we get to stay in our same room, and then we go Eastern Caribbean. And I booked that like in the middle of like a bunch of other cruises. So I have like a week-long cruise or 6-day cruise in January, an 8-day one in February. I got a 7-day one in the beginning of March and a 5-day one towards the end of March. And then these two back-to-backs are April 20th to the 27th, and then the 27th through May 4th. And then I have another 7-day one at the end of May into June. And then, of course, I have
you just need to buy a boat at this point. Just buy a permanent room on one of them. Like, this is ours. We're moving in.
I would be okay with that, but Marty wouldn't. He's like, I gotta work. Where are you going, Kimberly?
My friend and I are going to the When We Were Young festival in Vegas. So that's in 2 weeks. And then November going to Yellfest, so Charleston, and then I'm going on a cruise in December. It's like a memorial cruise for one of my best friend's parents. So that's for a week, right by Christmas, like the 14th through the 21st. And that's going to Belize, Honduras, and Mexico.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Does Marty know you booked more cruises, Mel? Yeah, I asked him about it yesterday because I was like, when we figured out that I had, because I was booking with using my free cruise offers, and I was going through all the different offers with her and trying to figure out which one would work for my schedule as well as her schedule, because she's also a travel bug too. So like she wants to go everywhere, and they have trips to like El Salvador and somewhere in Mexico and then Turkey and some other places. And so we had to like find a time that would work for both of us. And we were looking through everything and found that these two actually was on the same boat and the dates were back to back. I was like, ooh, and there were 2 different offers. So I could do them both and use different offers to get 2 free cruises. And so I told you just have to pay like the taxes and port fees. And so I told Marty, I was like, yeah, I can do this back-to-back cruise. And I've never done a back-to-back cruise like this. And, it would just be this much. And he's like, whatever. Fine. That's a lot of cruising. My husband and I are doing a 10-day cruise to the British Isles in April. Looking forward to it. Nice.
That sounds lovely.
That does sound nice. I'm guessing, are you leaving out of England or are you leaving somewhere else and going around? Actually, when you say British Isles, are you talking about like Caribbean British Isles or England British Isles, like up there? Because I know that there's some of the like Caribbean islands that are actually British islands. I'm not sure which ones, but I think St. Thomas might be one. I can't remember. Oh, Ireland and Scotland. Nice.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. I mean, cold. Oh my goodness. That's going to be so cold. Yeah. I've already been like looking at the temperatures and stuff because, you know, we're going to Dublin next month or in just a little over 2 weeks. And it's like 40 degrees there, like Fahrenheit. Yeah. I'm like, that is cold.
See, I actually prefer going to Europe in the winter.
I mean,
I'm crazy, but
we did Europe in the winter, you know, that it was not 40 that's their high.
I was in Switzerland. It was like negative 1.
Oh, okay. Well, Switzerland's different. We did Austria too, and you know, we went up into the snowy mountains and stuff, and that was in March. But actually, that didn't even feel that cold. It was weird. Because I at one point in time I had to take off all my layers because I was just like, I'm dying, I'm so hot. But it's just like the sun's reflecting from both sides. it's like, you know how like there's people when they tan, they have like the mirror, you know, and it's reflecting the sun here. No, that's what the ice is doing. It's just you're getting hit from the light from both directions. I got sunburned more in Austria than I did in the Caribbean. Just because it doesn't feel like you're getting sunburn. It just feels like your face is frozen. You're like, oh, I can't feel anything.
Just a little bit of both, you know?
And then you're like, oh, I wasn't just hot. I'm burned. Okay. Yeah. It's like, oh, was I overheating? No.
I was burning.
And
then you have
Paige. How was your reading done?
Yeah, good. That's
nice.
That. So, there was one where I'm doing this, but I haven't finished it yet. But
is it series as awesome as everybody says?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Well, that's good. I have the series, but I haven't read it.
I haven't read it.
Yeah. I was really excited about it, and then I ended up getting a different book of hers.
5 Survive?
Yes. And I pre-ordered it because I was reading it for some book club, and I read it, and I'm like, this is terrible.
I've heard it's not good.
I hated it. I was like, this is a garbage book. Okay. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to read The Good Girl's Guide to Murder anymore because this is awful. And everybody's like, that read that too. They also were like, yeah, this was garbage. Read the other. You'll like it.
Yeah. And I think it's also like a matter of, you know, going in knowing that it's a YA fun time. Like it's, it tries to take itself seriously, but it doesn't at the same time. So it's like, I enjoy that because I'm like, yeah.
No, I'm down with that, like cheesy YA murder mystery type thing. Yep. That's fine. This was 5 Survive is garbage. No, I read another book. What was it? I actually just recently bought the sequel on. 1 second, I'm getting a phone call. Hello. Hi.
I have had the most random reading month this month. I've had 1 star, I've had 5 stars. I'm just like, what all is over happening? The place. Yeah. So it's been good.
I can't remember what my ratings have been.
I was just gutted by my 1 star.
Oh, which one was it?
I'm back.
Dead Poets Society.
Oh,
There's the
interesting.
movie, but
Yeah,
they've then made a novelization.
Oh yeah, I
Gosh,
watched
I
your
saw the movie.
vlog of that.
I was very cranky.
Yes,
I
you
was
were.
very, very cranky.
That
I
was
might have
one
to
of
go
those
watch that.
garbage
I'm so
books.
behind on videos.
I thought I just bought it, the sequel. Maybe I didn't. It's like by Kathleen Glasgow, I think is the author.
Girl in Pieces, and then
Nope, not that one.
the second Home. No,
I'm pretty sure it's Kathleen Glasgow. The Agathas. The Agathas is the cheesy YA murder mystery thing.
Oh, yeah.
So much so that I ordered the sequel. I pre-ordered the sequel when it came out, and I think I've ordered the audiobook somewhere.
I haven't even heard of that.
It's kind of stupid, but it's fun. Yeah, but it's kind of stupid. Hold on.
I mean, sometimes that's just what we need, right? A little ridiculous book.
Yeah, it says, let's see. Last summer, Alice Ogilvy's basketball star boyfriend Steve dumped her. Then she disappeared for 5 days. She's not talking, so where she went, what happened to her is the biggest mystery in Castle Cove, or it was at least. But now another one of Steve's girlfriends has vanished, Brooke Donovan, Alice's ex-best friend. And it doesn't look like Brooke will be coming back. Enter Iris Adams, Alice's tutor. Iris has her own reasons for wanting to disappear, though unlike Alice, she doesn't have the money or the means. That could be changed by the hefty reward Brooke's grandmother is offering for anyone who can share information about her granddaughter's whereabouts. Police are convinced Steve is the culprit, but Alice isn't so sure. And with Iris on her side, she just might be able to prove her theory. In order to get the reward and prove Steve's innocence, they need to figure out who killed Brooke Donovan. And luckily, Alice has exactly what they need, the complete works of Agatha Christie. If there's anyone that can teach the girls how to solve a mystery, it's the master herself. But the town of Castle Cove holds many secrets, and Alice and Iris have no idea how much danger they're about to walk into. It's cheesy.
Well, I was like, when it's like she wants to disappear, she needs somebody. I was like, well, why don't you just go date Steve? Because that seems to be like a good way to go.
But yeah, it was fun. It was cheesy.
This does sound very entertaining and just fun.
Yeah, it was entertaining. Now, 5 survived. I was just like, I had bad words to say for that book. Much like Paige had to say for hers. I had bad words to say for mine because I was just like, this is stupid and it's pointless. It wasn't like bad in the way that Paige's was. It wasn't like there wasn't anything that was just like repulsive, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was a terrible book. Like it didn't say or do something that was wrong. It was just bad. It just wasn't a good book. Wasn't very, very well written. It was like she needed to squeeze out another book and she did this in like 15 days or something, you know?
Okay, yeah.
She's like, I wrote 20 or however many thousand words. I wrote 10,000 words a day until this was done. And voila, here's your book. And yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Okay, enough of that bashing. There's not many books I actually bash. Like very rarely. But that was one that stuck in my head that it was not a good book.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out for me. This isn't anything bad, but I'm trying to figure out. Have you all read the Kingdom of the Wicked series?
Mm-mm.
I don't know how they got away with putting books 2 and 3 on a YA shelf.
Oh,
because they were like they're a lot spicier than I anticipated them being.
Oh, we don't hate that though.
Now, granted, I mean, they are like, there's the princes of hell, or like the 7 deadly sins situation. So like, there's going to be something. It was way more than I anticipated, and I was like, oh, these should probably be put in the other section of the story.
In the smut section.
Because then her next series isn't in the same world, but it's adult. And I was like, you're bridging the gap with this one for sure. Like, there is a gap that this just slid in right between Stalking Jack the Ripper and her new series. That she just slid that like way more new adult than.
Yeah, I just
was just like,
it's
oh.
On Goodreads, it's classified as young adult.
Mm-hmm. It's not.
Can't trust it.
In a good way.
Can't trust them labels.
I appreciate it, but I was like, this might be questionable for.
I think that's probably one of those books that I would have to read it in the mindset of they are not children.
Yeah.
They are not minors that I am reading about. Though I get it too, because like, what was it?
And I do think that they're older teens. They
A Curse of Dark and
are
Lonely.
Like 18 or 19.
That's well, in A Curse of Dark and Lonely, they are YA, and that anytime there was like a slight steamy scene, it would immediately fade to black, and you wouldn't get any of the steam, like none.
That's what I thought these were gonna do. Nope.
And it was so like, it just stopped. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I want the goods. But in my brain, I was not thinking of them as minors.
I feel like as we get older, we tend to like age up the YA characters in our own brains and be like, no, really, these are actually like adult people. Not really. They're not in high school. They're in college or something like we kind of just automatically.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's obvious, and sometimes it is written like, yeah, this is obvious teenager kind of behavior. But unless it's obvious, that I definitely do that. I think, okay, so best book that you read this readathon. I have to look. What did I read?
I was like, I need my planner.
Oh, I know. I was going to say The Obsidian Tower, but I think that's number 2 for me. I don't know where my book is. Number 1 for me was When in Rome by Sarah Adams. I don't know. Have either of y'all read that?
Mm-mm.
Haven't read it, but I've heard of it.
Have not. Yeah.
It's a cute rom-com. We got a celebrity, like a pop star, who is trying to take a break and escape her world for a little while. And she's a big Audrey Hepburn fan. And so she puts on a random Audrey Hepburn movie, and it's Roman Holiday. And so she's like, I'm going to escape to Rome for a little while, but she can't go to Rome, Italy, because that's too far. So she goes to Rome, Kentucky. And her car breaks down. Hilarious. Her car breaks down in the front yard of the local super hot pie shop owner who's had his heart broken and doesn't trust Minnie.
I'm getting very much Hallmark vibes.
It is so stinking cute. And I was like, and the banter, oh my gosh, the banter. Like, if you like Gilmore Girls, this has the small town vibe. It's got these super cute banter between, and it's adorable. And I ended up giving it 5 stars. It was so cute. Paige, you go.
On the flip side of your cute, fluffy YA contemporary, mine
was adult. They're like in their 30s.
Yes. Sorry. Mine was The Winners by Frederick Backman because it hurt me in every way known to man. And I sobbed my eyes out.
Oh.
For like the last 100 pages. It was great.
What's it about?
So this is the 3rd in the Beartown series.
Oh, okay.
And so Beartown, we're following the aftermath of an incident with the hockey team, and the next 2 books in the series, so Us Against You and this one, is following more just the town as a whole and the battle between them and another small town close by, and just how everything hurts. And I'm so in love with these characters by the end, and Bachman just knows their writing is so beautiful and they just know how to hit all of those notes. So I was like absolutely sweating when the climax is happening, and I'm like, oh my god, because you think it's going one way. I was like, but you know what's happening. The first chapter is very much setting the scene work, but it's sort of like they both die at the end. It's like, you know that that's going to happen, but you're still praying that it doesn't.
Now that's a book that literally broke me in so many pieces.
I think I have that one, but
which I like to remind Adam Silvera of every time I see him.
Excellent. That's the way to do it.
Kay says,
which I'll remind him again in November.
Kay says The Woman in Me by Britney Spears.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay, what about you, Kimberly?
I think mine was The Bookbinder's Guide to Love by Catherine Garbera. And I was when I started, because I loved the plot. It's basically this girl runs a little like witchy bookshop with her two other friends, and they each have like their own section. Like one has like a little tea shop and does tea leaves, and the other one does tarot. And then she makes these like journals, and they became really popular. But she became friends with like this older gentleman, and he was teaching her bookbinding and things like that. And he passes away, and then his grandson comes in, and basically he left a thing of books in the will to her, and this grandson is so angry and mad and is like, why would he do that? And it's kind of a very like, there's a lot of like grief topics in there, but overall the book is just really cute and sweet, and there's like banter. There's a little spiciness in there, so it's a romance. It was just a good time, and it's short. It's not too long.
Oh, also in When in Rome, there is definitely some spice in there, because it's also a grumpy sunshine, and he's the grump, she's the sunshine. Oh, yeah. And he is adamant that nothing goes on between them. He does not want to get involved with somebody that's just going to leave town, and but they have like immediate instant chemistry, and they can't keep their hands off each other.
That's similar. There's some instant kind of chemistry in the Bookbinder's Guide to Love too.
Okay, worst book of the readathon.
Of the
readathon.
Of the read. No.
I feel like I know which is yours.
Like, because technically I didn't read Dead Poets 4.
Oh.
Yeah, like I have one that didn't make it on the list for the readathon, but it was a part of my TBR for like all, like overall. For like it was in Magical Readathon in my personal game TBR.
Well, you could say for this month. Yeah, pretty much anything for this month you could count.
It wasn't the worst book, like, completely out. We know what pages. But the one I liked the least, it's still probably like a 4-star, but was Kingdom of the Curse. There just wasn't enough plot development to that I thought there was going to be. Not necessarily a bad book. It just kind of like let me down in that one little aspect.
So your worst read was a 4-star. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's because it hit the that book 2 problem, where the sequel isn't as good as the first one, but then book 3 has been really, really good so far.
And Kay rated The Obsidian Tower 2 stars. It was too fantasy for her. I mean, if fantasy's not your thing, then I think my worst one, I think for this, I don't know if it was something else worse during this month, but for this readathon was one I actually finished today, and it's Scenes of the Crime by Jilly Gagnon. And this is like somebody tried to make Pretty Little Liars for grown-ups, and it was not as good. Like I never read
thrillers. I either really like them or hate them.
Yeah, I've never read the Pretty Little Liars books. I watched the show and I didn't even finish the show. And this is like very much Pretty Little Liars, but they're like all grown up. And it was not as good as the Pretty Little Liars show. This is like a girl, like the 5 girlfriends, they go to a vineyard and then one of them disappears. And then 15 years later, they're all gathering back together to piece what went on. And they all seem to think they were responsible somehow. But, oh, she's not dead.
Surprise.
And all their secrets are coming out. It was a 3-star. It wasn't terrible, but it was not a good book. It wasn't Dead Poet Society. But it was not a good book.
Yeah. I think I'm stuck with one of my SeasonAthon reads because I don't know how to rate it.
Okay. That's a really cute cover.
It is the most fucked up book I've ever read. Like, so my partner, Ash, he's read it and loves it. And the writing in it is beautiful, but the content in it, like going off my enjoyment level, that is not high. Unlike the winners where I'm enjoying being in pain, this was just
painful in a different way.
Yeah, but it was still so excellently written. Yeah. So I think Ash says it's the 3, he rates it the 3 W's. Well written, something, and what the fuck. Like, so I feel like I should give it a 5 stars, but can I? Because like, I don't know what to rate it. So it's just sitting as blank. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do with you. It's a girl who thinks she's an alien because she's very disconnected from the way that society works. And there's a lot of rough things that happen to her. And it's just not a pleasant experience. So like you completely understand it. And it's very autistic coded, similarly to Convenience Store Woman by the same author. So I really liked that, but it's also like, I've never come across a book like you before.
I read something that gives me like the things that you were saying. This book makes me think of one that I read for this readathon is "We Are the Ants" by Sean David Hutchinson, where he doesn't believe he's an alien. He believes he keeps being abducted by aliens. And there's a button on the mothership that if he pushes, he'll save the world. If he doesn't push it, then the world's going to end on this set date. And then he's got to decide if he wants to save the world or not. But he doesn't know if the world's worth saving. And there's a lot of a lot of hard stuff. This guy, like his boyfriend recently unalived himself, and he gets involved with a bully that he's having to keep secret that they're having a relationship, and he's literally bullied and beaten and all kinds of other stuff. And he goes through a lot, and I'm just like, I would struggle with whether to push that button too. But at the same time, you don't know if he's actually getting abducted or some other issue going on with him. But he ends up appearing in these random places without his clothes, except for underwear, maybe. And then he has to find his way home or whatever. What?
I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put my faith in that.
Hello, friend. Sadly, I only read 2 books for the readathon.
Hello.
Hello, Drew. That's Burger Sleuth. How, did you participate in the readathon? What did you read? Random comments. Yeah, that just made my brain go blank. Oh, so the phone call that I randomly got was Braden at work. He's like, "Yeah, they said I can go home because he's not feeling good." And I'm like, "I'm live now. I can't come get you." He's like, "I can walk." I'm like, "Okay." So yeah, he should be here soon.
Maybe the fresh air will help him out.
Help a little.
Hopefully, I mean it's like a 30-minute walk, maybe. Maybe.
Oh, no.
Maybe. I don't know.
We
It's
can
like
do a reading sprint.
It's like a 5-minute drive. But I mean, he waited until I was live.
Yeah.
I managed to read 12 books this month, but also none for the readathon. Are you sure that your book?
I can make them stretch.
I know. Like, let us know what you read. We can make it work.
Yeah,
We will make this work.
So, okay, the first one is easy. Literally any book you like. So, one of those could fit for that. The second one is an American classic or an American banned book.
Which at
My
this
guess
point, like
is
almost any book's a banned book here. So
yeah, my guess is at least one of the books you have on your list of 12 is a banned book.
Yeah.
Were any of them set in the real world? If not, was it a sci-fi?
Or
Because
had a romantic element to it.
yeah, or it's set in nature, or set in space. If one of them fits any of those criteria, either set in space, set in the real world, is a romance, discusses our environment, set in nature, or is a sci-fi, that counts for the third class. And then I bet you, because I know how diversely you read, you have something for the fourth class, which is read a book from a culture other than your own, or an African author, or a book set in a country other than the US or UK, or it has a virus or a plague, or an Asian author, a Latin author, a Caribbean author, or an Indian author. I know you got one of those in there. And then the last one is a translated book. And you know what? You don't have to read the translated version. It just has to have been translated. So if it's published in another country in another language, you can count that.
I didn't even think about stretching it like that, but it's true. But then again, like I had the Full Moon Coffee Shop to read. So
I had Inkheart, so it worked for me. Playing for Keeps set in the real world and might be banned because it's sapphic. Yeah, you just can't have them count for 2 different prompts for the same book. But I bet you do have a banned book in there. Or you have a different one that'll count in the real world. I bet you got all of the prompts without even knowing it. You know, it's been weird. So the majority of this month, other than my reading, my brain has been in Christmas mode because I've been so working on.
Yeah.
I have to during this readathon, I always have to start working on the next one. And I'm like, it's not even Halloween. And I'm thinking about Christmas things.
The life of content creators. We're like 3 holidays ahead.
Yeah.
At all times.
Marty came around. I think he was leaving for work or something. He came around to my side at the desk, and I had like all this Christmas stuff up on my screen. And he's like, It's not October. I'm like, I know, but I'm planning Merry Bookmas. I wonder now that you said it that maybe I do have one for each month. I know you do. I'm sure. I'm sure of it. Yeah, I actually have. We have our co-hosts. I have the group book, which I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I will say a little sneak peek is that for the first time ever, our group book for Merry Bookmas will be a holiday book.
Ooh.
Which I'm very excited about. And it's going to be so cute.
Nice.
And then I might possibly have my co-host already for spring. And I might even have an author and group book for that as well. Because one of the authors I tried
on it
for Merry Bookmas, their publicist wrote me and they're like, they can't do this, but maybe they could do January or February. I was like, what about March? I'm like, we don't do anything in January, February, but are they available for this date and time in March? And she's like, I will check and get back to you, but hopefully. I'm like, yes, that'd be awesome.
That's so cool how
Nice.
you organize this.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I could not be that organized
Yeah.
if I tried.
I get too nervous.
Well, I've got it pretty much like this, like the email that I send, I have to tweak certain things if I'm sending it to like the actual author or I'm sending it to a publicist or whatever. But for the most part, it's like the same email over and over again and that I can copy and paste. However, I have on occasion, and this is probably why I don't get responses from certain ones. I have on occasion messed up in my copy and paste and like changing the things that I need to change, forgetting to change like we want to use this book by this author and we'd love to have him. And we think it would be a great opportunity to promote this book. And then the book that I'm saying we can promote is not their book. It's the one from the email before that I forgot to change that part of the email. So that happens apparently too often. When I was looking back and when I realized that there was like a whole section of my email that I accidentally didn't end up getting copied and pasted. I looked back and I was like, how many emails did I send like that? Oh, where's it good? Where's the good? I'm like, I had to go back like 5 or 6 emails. I'm like, no wonder I got no response. Let's see. Fine. Can you tell us if it's a backlist book? Yes, it almost always is going to be a backlist book because the way I try to do it is I try to pick an author that so they've already got at least one book out and that book has done well enough. Even if it hasn't gotten a lot of attention, the ratings that it's gotten were good. But they have a new book that's going to be coming out between, say for Merry Bookmas, they have a book that's coming out either in January, February, or March. So we can promote that book. So we can read either their first and only book or one of their past books and promote their newest book. That's how I try to do it.
I like that.
Oh, how exciting.
So now we're all off to see who's coming out with books in January, February, March to see if we can guess what the book
That have a holiday book already published.
It is how I do it every time. Now, granted, come spring, if the author I reached out for Merry Bookmas is the one we have for spring, that's a different story because their book's actually is scheduled to come out in January, February, or March, even if they're doing the readathon in March. Oh, how exciting. Is it time to be Detective Drew for the Merry Bookmas round? You can try, but I will also tell you there are quite a few authors that have books coming out during that time that also have holiday books. That also, because their book that's coming out isn't necessarily a holiday book, but they happen to have a holiday book in their backlist. So there was a few because I had a few on my list. I can tell you that some of them that I reached out that I didn't hear from, like, so sad about it too.
Oh
I appreciate a backlist book, easier to acquire. So the very first author that I reached out to, whether it was the author or publicist or whatever, that I didn't get a response from was Rebecca Yarros.
no.
I tried to get Fourth Wing.
Oh,
That was like the number one that I tried to do. I was like, because in January, the third book comes out. Oh,
Yes.
another thing I
I
do
still need to
is
pre-order that.
another thing I do is if the book that they have coming out is like the third or fourth or fifth or whatever in a series, then I pick the first book in that series to be the group book.
yes. I've noticed that.
Let's see. So Rebecca Yarros was the number one choice. And then number two that I reached out to that I was also like, so like I couldn't believe I had this opportunity to contact this author and try to get them because I've wanted them for like ever. But the books that they have typically written in the past are part of like all the series. They wrote multiple series and they're all like connected. So you really would have to go back to like
Oh yeah.
way back.
Hello, puppies.
The dogs are going nuts because Brayden just walked in. But they very recently started a new series in a whole new world, a whole new set of characters, in a whole new age group. I'm wondering if y'all can guess who this is.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm
this is
thinking,
feeling
but
really
I'm not.
familiar.
So this author, I'll just say this author's female, and all the books that she's written up to a certain point have pretty much been like the main popular books YA. And she wrote an adult series.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did reach out to Cassandra Clare to try to get her, and we would have Sword Catcher for the group book, but she's not easy to contact, like or any of her people. Like I couldn't find her people. Yes, you're right. That's who I tried, but I had to like message her directly, and I don't expect a response.
Yeah, I think the only time I've ever gotten any kind of response from her was on the app formerly known as Twitter.
I think I ended up writing her on,
and that was Instagram. A picture of a cosplay from Dragon Con ages ago.
Not Sarah J. Maas and not Jennifer L. Armentrout. Though those would also be cool. But no, Cassandra Clare was like it for me, like before I started book 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I have an entire bookshelf dedicated to Cassandra Clare.
Like, if we can, I think it's this one. Yeah, all of that for the most part. There we go.
Yeah.
I have like a whole thing, like a whole built-in bookshelf in my living room with all of the stuff on display, and I have like multiple copies of series and stuff. Yeah, it's like 4 shelves. And then I just recently got all the stuff off Kickstarter because I did her Kickstarter, so I got her new book from that, which is very cool, and the tarot cards and a bunch of other stuff. She doesn't even like any posts I have when I tag Cassie on Instagram. Yeah, she's just. I mean, I also think she's really busy. She writes a ton, and so I understand when you don't get responses. I get a lot of times where I don't get responses from authors, but yeah.
I think it makes it more exciting when you do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's really like it's really neat when you write one and they're like right away, oh hey, yeah, oh that would be awesome. That sounds like so much fun, and you can actually continue having conversations and messaging back and forth. Like Kristen Simmons and I, like we communicate, which is wild. And so that's how she ended up being like an author for this multiple times, because we'll chat on Instagram and stuff, and I'll like talk to her about her dogs, and I'll talk about my dogs, and yeah, we've made friends, and that's really neat.
Friends, we like friends.
Yeah.
And I can say the author for Mary Bookmas, she was one of these that was like, she responded really, really quickly. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so honored. Thank you.
Oh, I love it.
Cool.
I can't wait to know what the book is.
Let's see.
I'm so excited.
Another one that I reached out to and did not get a response from was actually for a holiday book. And that was, we were going to do The Mistletoe Motive by Chloe Slice.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but I didn't get a response from them. And let's see. Another one I didn't get a response from is Megan Lally. The book would be That's Not My Name. I'm not going to say that one because that's the one that might be the spring one.
I'm like, I regret researching because now I have an idea.
Why must
I be a good librarian?
I highly doubt that you've got it, but you know what? Put it in the private chat. Like, click on the thing on the side of the screen and click on private chat and tell me there what you think.
Just in
case you are right.
Do you want to know?
Kimberly? Yeah, I want to know what you think.
I want to.
Let's see. I remember when me, Mama, and Aunt Kaylani asked Aiden Thomas at Y'all West when we were there. Yeah, I had reached out to Aiden Thomas, his people, and no.
Okay. This is exciting. This is fun. I'm enjoying this.
I know. I'm gonna be like researching now, like after this live, for like the next.
But I will say that person was on my list.
Hey.
I just didn't get to them I just didn't get to contacting them, but they were on my list. But yeah, I talked to like Aiden Thomas's people and had made arrangements with them and all that, and then we happened to see Aiden at Y'all West, and I was like, oh, you're gonna actually be doing our whichever spring or whatever SeasonAthon it was. And he's like, I am? I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I talked to your people. You're going to be on my channel. And he's like, oh, that's awesome. And he was great.
That's funny.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, it was. I was like, yeah, you're going to be there. He's like, I don't know. You just tell me where to go and when to do it. I'm like, well, I'll see you on this day.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. And originally we were going to do a different book by them, but they wanted us to do the book that we ended up doing, which I don't remember the title right offhand. But it was the start of a new series. And I think we moved it to like the next readathon so that that book could come out or something like that. Yeah. But I was like, yeah, we could do that. But yeah, it usually takes a long time to get everything all worked out, all the who's going to be co-host, who's going to be the author, who's going to, what group book and all that stuff. And I love when it all just comes together so nicely. Because there's been many times that I'm like, it's the day before I'm supposed to film my announcement, and I don't know what our group book's going to be. And I'm like, or I've even had to push back when I'm going to film, and I'm like, I don't want to wait this long. Oh my gosh. Though because of how I reach out to them, I like I try to give them enough time. Like I said, I'm like, hey, can you get back to us by this date for our own planning purposes? If not, I understand. Just as soon as possible, it would be great. And there's been at least one time where I got an author and I'm like, yes, we got an author. Ooh, we're good to go. And then another author reaches out that I've already contacted and they're like, yeah, we're good. And I'm like,
Oh. Oh.
So we had two group books and 2 author live shows for that particular readathon. That's when we had Janella Angeles and oh gosh, what's his name? My mind just went blank. What is Zentner? Jeff Zentner. Janella Angeles and Jeff Zentner. Oh yeah, we did Some Bearer Trials. That's the one that we read with Aiden Thomas. And then there was another time where I reached out and then the author didn't get back to me for like a month. And then she's like, oh my gosh, yes. And like she wrote me like days before we were supposed to have the actual live show.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, okay, well, we've already done our reason.
Oh, happened.
Yeah. I was like, well, we've already done the readathon, but we would love to have you in the future. Would you be open to, this date or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
And then I never heard from them again. I'm like, well, I guess not. But I mean, I don't know. They might just be like waiting in the shadows. But that was actually an author that I think's become much more popular since then. So I don't know. That was Jay Bree. She was like, yeah. I'm like, sorry.
It's already happening.
It was like, I want to say it was actually like the day before or the day of the actual author live show. And I'm like, you're late.
Yeah.
And then we've had 2 times where the author hasn't shown up to the live show.
What?
Yeah. Once was, I think it was Janella Angeles. Yeah. The first time was with Janella Angeles. She just forgot. She forgot. And so we had to reschedule it. And then the other was this summer was one that Drew had, whatever. We each had a group book and it was his authors, like the group book author for his group. And she was on Mountain Time.
Ooh.
Oh.
And thought it was Mountain Time and totally missed it. And then we're like, Drew was like, well, we could redo it. And I'm like, no. There's not.
Dear.
Oh, maybe it was Allie Hazelwood. Maybe it was Allie Hazelwood, not Janella Angeles, that forgot. Let me look. Or maybe that happened more than once. I have to look. I can't remember.
Oh, dear.
But it's cool to be able to be like, yeah, I've had, and just like drop this long list of names of authors that I've had on here, which is really neat.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Let's see. There was, because I remember when we did the one that the author didn't show up for, the next time when I made the thumbnail, I was like, I put on there for real this time.
Yeah. I remember that.
And I was like, they're supposed to be here. Really real, for real this time.
For real, sis. I just sit here twiddling my thumbs.
Well, maybe I think with the Allie Hazelwood, I think there was actually something came up and we had to reschedule hers.
Yeah.
And I think it was Janella Angelis that just forgot. And then I had to do that for real this time.
For real.
Take
For
two.
I'm still looking back, like scrolling back. There's a lot of them.
I'm just casually looking at what books are coming out in June.
I thought that's what you were doing. I was just like, I'm gonna leave you to do your thing.
Save that for later.
I don't want to know.
Wish You Weren't Here by Erin Baldwin. Yeah, that was a cute book. But yeah, that Erin was the one that got the time difference wrong.
I've been like refreshing every for the author live show and for this. I'm just like triple checking when you scheduled it to make sure it was still 10 a.m. my time because I'm just like, I don't trust myself. I know what I'm like.
I think with that, I was getting ready for going on one of my trips or something, and I was just like, no, I can't reschedule it. It was just going to be we can chat about the book.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. We just talked about the book and the readathon and stuff, and then did our after hours as, just hanging out and chatting about whatever, because that's always fun. I like the very chill, laid back after hours,
Yeah.
Everybody come, bring a snack, bring a drink, coffee, your Adderall. Whatever you need.
It's my favorite snack.
Best snack.
I'm a fast goldfish. I will send you the video to make that make sense. If I can find it. I know I put it somewhere.
Oh, me.
Context.
I'm just holding my coffee cup like there's anything in it. There's not.
I have that same coffee cup. Was that Alcrate, I think?
Yeah. It's like the Alcrate fall one.
Mm-hmm. From a long time ago, because I haven't done Alcrate in years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much don't get book boxes anymore. Well, I'll take that back. I do get this. I get book of the month, and then I get this Harlequin Afterlight or something like that. It's like 2 books a month.
Yeah, I don't get anything anymore. If I did, I switched my Illumicrate to book only for a while, and then I was like, I'm not vibing with any of these, so I just stopped getting it.
Yeah, I mean, I love getting the books, and usually they're so pretty, but I get so much random stuff, and I do like I have a couple giant boxes of stuff that I'm just like, I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to use this. And I put it in a thing to do for like a giveaway.
I went through a lot of items and stuff, and I have a big box full that I was going to be like a giveaway when I hit like 2,000 or something like that.
Yeah. And I do like, I have a book buddy of the month from my coffee patrons. And so with them, they get, to pick certain things, and like I send him a goodie box, and so like I'll ask him, do you want like a mug or a candle or a surprise? And goodness, you had the sneezes.
I was like, I can't tell what that is. I'm going to assume a pet.
Yeah, snicker sneezing.
So cute.
And if they want a surprise, I'll ask them if they want a bookish or a non-bookish. And so if they said like a non-bookish, then I might get them something like, I just opened this, and 2 out of the 4 gifts that came in here, I'm not going to keep. They're not bad gifts. I just don't need them. Like, for example, I actually have this in silver, and it's a wine cork bottle opener. I don't need it. I have one already. And so this would be a non-bookish thing I'd give away with the other stuff that they get. Or I have a wooden platter thing here. Because in the book they did like a cheese spread, like cheese and stuff, and it's one like for that. I'm not going to use it. I'm not fancy like that. You want meat and cheese and stuff? It's going to come probably in a plastic container already. I'm just going to take the lid off and put it out there. I'm not fancy like that. I still do Outcrate, but I might try Fairy Loot or Aardvark. Aardvark was cool. They sent me a package once to like show off, which was neat. I used to do Page and Wick, but then I got into the Broken Binding sub box, so I canceled P&W. Their candles were too flowery for me. I've never heard of the Broken Binding one.
I've heard of it, but it's not
I've
like
heard of it, but I haven't
one
looked
that.
into it.
Yeah, I've given up looking into them because I get so depressed at the shipping cost being the same or more of the actual things as well. So I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to hurt myself like that.
Yeah, because you're all the way down under.
Down under. Yes.
Yeah, the box that I liked the best, like as far as the items that came, and I actually would keep most of the items, was Unplugged Book Box. I liked the books. I liked the box. I liked all the goodies. And then they were like, yeah, we're going to start doing just special editions and no more subscription box. And I'm like, well, crap.
But why? I like it.
And their special editions are really cool. Like they do special edition boxes, which are bigger boxes. They have more goodies, better, more books and stuff. But there is a bigger price tag. Mm-hmm. So instead of like the 40 or whatever, 40 to 45, $50 boxes, now you're looking at like $90 or $100 boxes. And I'm like, or more even. And I'm like, I can't justify doing that. So,
yeah, I feel like when I finally undid like my Illumicrate subscription, there was just like this weight of like, oh wow, I don't have any book boxes. I don't have anything. I don't have to give a crap about sequel special editions anymore. I don't have to like. It was like great. The only ones I like really have now are like ones I've already bought. Like if I have the Empire of the Vampire from Goldsboro, so of course I'll buy that special edition so it matches. But like I don't know, there's like a certain like weight lifted off of not even like having to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, I get that. They do series. The one right now is the Green Bone Saga.
Is that the one with the like stained glass images on the ends? Is that what I'm thinking it was for this time? Because they are stunning. I'm just not sure if that's the right subscription box.
I'm looking at the Broken Binding.
They are stunning.
Subscription.
Those, they're nice.
Oh, I have a feeling that the shipping is going to be expensive because it's as soon as I clicked on it and was scrolling down, I see tier 1 cost 30 British pounds.
Oh, actually, I might be able to afford it.
Plus postage and packaging per month. Tier 2 costs 25 British pounds plus postage and packing per month. That makes no sense to me how the shipping would be cheaper to you.
I don't know, but sometimes it's just US is ridiculous and the UK is more okay. But other times they're just the same and I'm just sad. Anyway.
They have lots of different subscriptions. Apparently they got fantasy or sci-fi. Oh, wait. Okay, they have fantasy or sci-fi. Hello. Hi. Hi.
Hello, gorgeous.
Oh, gosh.
Hello.
How are you?
He's like, put your arm around me.
Hello, gorgeous.
They're talking to you. Sir, can I help you? Clicking on past books. which just says coming soon. Sir, don't nibble my side.
It giggles.
Sir. Tickle, square. All right.
Pay attention to me.
They do have some pretty books. Sir. Come here, you little rascal. Come here. You need some attention? Come on. Oh, you got Einstein's attention now? Come here. Okay, now Einstein wants to jump up here. Really? Come here, you.
Oh, see, I just want to be loved.
Let's see. That's what got me was the battle to death over book box sequels. I'm so over. Oh yeah, because that was another thing. Like I was very particular about certain boxes because there would be so many times where you get the same book multiple times. Because I'm like, oh yeah, especially if you had like.
That's another part I was like so done with. Was like, I don't need multiple copies of a book I haven't even read.
Yeah.
The shipping is about the same as the subscription. I have the tier 2.
Sure.
How is it for Australia? There.
Yeah.
You're being ridiculous.
Still not like something I can afford to when I'm saving for a wedding, but doesn't make me cry as significantly as some of the other ones.
Yeah, the thing I liked about I was getting Bookish Box and Unplugged. Their books never like matched. So I did the YA and adult in both of them. And I never had to worry about getting duplicates with them. But when I had like the Bookish Box with Crate or Illumicrate or
Fairy Loot.
I never got Fairy Loot, but I know Fairy Loot did have a lot of the same.
Crate and them were like constant.
Which is why I never got Fairy Loot because I had got Crate for years.
It was never a surprise for me because I eventually started like going on the Book Box Sherlock's Facebook page and seeing what the books were because I was like, no, I keep getting, so I would like skip or something if I wasn't that interested.
Yeah. Now I am still, I don't know what the word is, an ambassador or whatever for Once Upon a Book Club. Even though I don't currently have an active subscription, but it's because I have a closet piled to the ceiling of Once Upon a Book Club boxes that I still need to open. But I do still show them off. I do still have a code and all that stuff. But I'm like, I don't get this. I had to stop the subscription because these boxes take up a lot of space.
Oh yeah,
they do. Yeah,
and I have so many. Like, I literally have floor to ceiling in one of these closets of these.
Oh my gosh.
Times 4.
Yep.
So I was like, I gotta stop because I had like the YA. I was getting YA adult, and occasionally when they would do like the special editions, I was getting all the special edition ones, the Christmas ones, the Halloween ones, both Halloween ones, middle grade ones, whatever. And so I'm like, I gotta stop. And I'm like, right now, it's that time of year when I would normally take the money that I have accumulated, which is not, I don't get much from like when somebody signs up and uses my code. I think it's like $5 or something like that. And that's maybe once every few months. Maybe I might end up with like 3 signing up in a month or something like that. Anyway, I take all the accumulated and typically buy the Advent box. And right now I'm like, do I want to get the Advent box? Do I want to add another box?
To the stack.
Yeah, and that one I definitely tend to like read right away, but still. And I know they used to have this teeny tiny, like a little pamphlet that had like little stories that were like a paragraph, and you open your gift to go with that little tiny story. And then they got to where it was like a little, like their pamphlet got a little bit bigger, and maybe a story might be a page. And now they've got a 400 plus page book. And I'm like, I don't really want to. I'm not a like anthologies fan really, and so I don't like really get into these short stories. Granted, if they're a paragraph or a page, that's fine. But if I have to read like 20, 30, 40 pages before I can open my gift, and it's not part of like an overall like full novel, that's annoying. But I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm like I can't not. I'm like, I got to know what the gift is about. Okay, I have to read it.
But also, can we go back to a paragraph, please?
Right? Can I just skip and read just the paragraph?
Just a little bit.
Highlight the thing that I need to know.
Every
put a little tab.
Yeah. And every year the book gets thicker and thicker. And now they're sending out emails with like little synopsises for each story. And I'm like, that should be enough. Like it's like this, it's a page that they're writing for each story. And I'm like, that should be it. That's all I need.
Yeah.
I'm not here for that part. I'm here for the rest, for the gifts and the books that come in that. But yeah. I remember at least one year you read each story in a video series. Yeah, I can't do that now because stories. It got to the point when I was doing that particular series where I would lose my voice because it was to that point where that they were doing like 20 pages or more and reading out loud for that long. I'd be like, I'm like choking and coughing, and I'm like, I need water. Hold on.
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, after that, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing this again.
That's fair.
But I also feel like if they send me a 400-page book and I just skim to the part, I feel like I will have wasted that book, which is annoying as well. Like, just don't send me a big book.
I've never done one of the book subscription advent calendars. I usually just get my Nespresso one and call it a day.
I've thought about like doing like so I've thought about doing this on Etsy, like doing a used blind date with a book kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I could do that with like a you gently used. Heck, when I say gently used, like
yeah,
this the book they barely get opened if at all because I'm listening to the audio. And then I'm like, nope, not keeping it. So it goes into the shelf. And so I thought, maybe I could do like a used advent, like book advent, and sell that. That would be cool. The only advent calendar I do is loose leaf tea one.
Yeah, I don't know. Just a little chocolate one.
I mean, hey, that one's good. Those are good too.
I actually have a advent, like a little, it's a wooden advent calendar thing, and I put little chocolates and stuff in it. And then I'm usually the one that gets to eat it because everybody else forgets.
Yeah.
And then it's February and I'm still picking out chocolates occasionally. Oh, I had Marty one year. I can't believe I convinced him to do this. And he did so good. I asked him to do an advent for me, like a bookish advent for me. Do you remember back like when I did that and I was like showing the gifts every day?
Yeah.
But yeah, he did awesome. And it was funny because we were doing Christmas not on Christmas because his schedule, he doesn't necessarily have Christmas off. So sometimes Christmas is early, Christmas is late, Christmas is just whenever, we're all together. And so I think Christmas was going to be like the 29th or something like that. And so he did an advent that went all the way to there. And then I got a gift too on Christmas. And I was like, this is awesome. I was so spoiled.
And then you're like, so you're going to do this every year now, right?
Yeah, I was like, can you do this again? He hasn't done it again since then. But he was like, that was an expensive Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't expecting him to do like any big anything towards the end. And I think that was when he got me I don't remember what it's called, but it's a thing that when you hold your camera or whatever and you're walking, it's like got the gyroscope, so it doesn't your camera stays still even if you're moving.
Yeah.
I think that was the year he got me that. And that thing's not cheap. And so that was like my big gift on Christmas. But then I got like a ton of books and other fun things. And I'm like, when I told him, I was like, you can put like a couple books in there, just kind of spread them out. And then you can make a bunch of little things, you don't have to do like a whole big expensive thing. And I forget how much he spent. It was like a few $100s. I'm like, okay.
But you appreciate it and you've remembered it and you like so it's
Yeah.
I love that.
Nowadays, I don't think I could ask him to do that because I'm also asking him to, hey, let me travel all over the place. I literally have 8 cruises booked. I remember one year you were so excited about the book he gave you, but you had read it and he kind of sighed at you and while it was on your list. That was this past Christmas. So I opened it up and it was like, oh gosh, what was the book? Hold on. I know exactly where it is. I can't think of the title, but I know where it is. Hold on.
Too funny. Oh,
That's
there
funny.
goes Papa's.
I was like, maybe I'll check and see if my dogs
one.
are around. Puppies.
Puppies.
No? No one wants to come say hi? Okay. That's negative.
So it was a Stardust Thief. I had read it and I loved it. And I was like, okay, I need to own it. And I had it on my wish list. And most of the books on my wish list are not books that I've read. And so he was so proud of himself. Like he went on my wish list. He picked out this book and he got it. And I opened it up. I was like, oh my gosh, yay. I love it. This is such a good book. And he's like, you read it? And I'm like, yeah, but I wanted to own it. And he's like, so bummed.
And you're just like, no, you still did good. It's okay.
It's like, I wanted to own it.
And it's a hardcover.
Yeah. It was a really good book. This is another book that I feel like didn't really get the hype that it deserved. So
I feel like I heard a lot of people receive it, but then the people that did read it, that was very mixed.
I think if y'all liked funny. I was gonna say I think if y'all liked the Obsidian Tower, you'd like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just so happens that Melissa Caruso blurbed it.
That's great.
That's fantastic.
She wrote, sizzling with action and secrets, The Stardust Thief is a grand adventure with unforgettable characters, enchanting magic, and plenty of heart. That's funny.
That is.
Yeah.
That is really
full
funny.
circle moment.
It was like, as I was saying, if y'all like that, and I happen to look over and I just see Melissa Caruso, and I'm like, what? But yeah, I think you'd like this. Let's see.
I may have
Like-
snuck onto my library ordering site yesterday and ordered the entire Obsidian, the Brooks and Ruin series, and the new one that they've got coming out. I was just like, I can't. We're allowed to. Like, they might not purchase it, but it's showing that there was interest. So I was just like,
Oh, I love that. My library does that too. Like you can go in and request like
I
certain
wish there
things.
are. I don't think our library has that.
Maybe if you look online.
I think it's just an email kind of thing.
Yeah, on mine, let me see if I can see.
Because I also work for them, so I'm on the back end side of things. It's not just a patron request. It's like, no, I'm actually adding this for you to buy it. If you feel so inclined. Yeah. They're good books. You like my recommendations every time I talk about things.
Let's see, there's a thing on mine. I'm trying to see where it is. There's a place to go in and like put in a request for a certain book or books. And maybe it's just if I put in a certain book and they don't have it, you can like click request.
Yeah, like I have, like if they don't have it, there's a lot of libraries within our particular system. So like I think all of my manga that I've been requesting, I get from a different library in the same system because I'm like, okay, well, can our library get Spy X Family now? Because I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, so
Come on.
ours is like that too. We have multiple libraries all connected in one system, and if you can, it'll tell you like when you're looking at it online, like which branch it's coming from, and they'll send it from their branch to yours. But also, if it's not at any branch, if they don't have the book, you can actually request they purchase the book, and then they'll email you or whatever and let you know if they've purchased it or if they've decided to decline, which I've never had my library decline. And I've requested, like, I was reading, I think it's like the Carpathian series, and I was on book, I don't know, 20 something. I was like, you don't have this one book. I need it. I was like, you have all the other books, but you don't have this one. I need it.
And because they have all the other ones, they're more likely to get, like,
Yeah.
if they had books 1, 2, and 3, and you were on book 6, and so you requested just book 6, they might turn around and go, no. But then because they have most of the others, they're like, yeah, okay, this random one, like, that was a gap. We should fill it.
Yeah. Let's see. We can't do it online, but if you call the library, they'll generally order it for us if it's less than a year old. If it's a year or older, they get it from another library.
Huh.
They reach out to libraries 8+ hours away. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about reaching out to farther out libraries, but I know in our system there's like, I don't know, like four or five, something like that, I think. Our downtown library is wild. It's a huge library, and then there's this whole floor that's like for creative stuff.
Oh, nice.
So there's like you could do t-shirt printing, you could do 3D printing. There's a music recording studio.
Oh, that's wild.
In the library. You just have, and it's
no,
free.
Our library is way more small town than that.
Yeah, it's like, there's a lot of stuff at this library. Now, our local one that I typically go to is tiny and looks like a juicer. Like literally the top of it, like how you put your orange down and you grind it. That's what the top of the library looks like. It looks like a juicer. I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna find a picture.
I was like, I need a picture of that.
I'm like, I can envisage it, but I'm worried I'm envisaging it wrong.
I am not. Let's see. Okay, this is not from above or anything, but it's from like the front door. So, but you can still kind of tell.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
It looks like
a little hat on there.
And it's a circle. I'm going to try to find another picture. Our library looks like a juicer.
It does.
It has a hat.
It even has like the little
There's a little
ridges and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a juicer.
That's great.
And then the inside looks like that.
Oh, that's lovely.
Nice. That's nice.
It's a little circular. That's where I learned how to knit.
I was actually about to say, I think on like Tuesdays, ours has like a crochet or knit night situation that I thought about going to.
Yeah,
Mine's Wednesday nights.
They have a like, I want to say it was like on the weekends or something. They had like little craft things for kids and stuff. And one day they were teaching kids and me how to knit. I sat there right along with it. I took Becca and Xander, and we all learned how to knit that day. But yeah, we'd sit on those little tables there. And they also have like a room off to the side that they would do like certain activities.
Mm-hmm.
Like certain days of the week they do Dungeons and Dragons for like the teens and stuff. Or they'd have like movie watch parties, and they'd go and set up a movie in there. They do like a teen lock-in where the kids can go and like hang out, and they have some snacks and play games, or do whatever, and just hang out, have a safe place in the library for a few hours.
Nice.
Xander was always wanting to go to that thing, and he was always too young when Becca was going, so he couldn't go because you had to be 13 because they wanted
the last time I was there, they were on the phone with somebody, and they were talking about how I guess they have like a service dog that comes in and kids can read to them, like they can choose a time. And I'm like, okay, but like, can the adults do that too? Like, I know I have 2 dogs at home that I could easily read to, but I'm just like, where's the adult story time with the dog? Okay, like, we can all get around and get the dog. I'll read the dog Fourth Wing. It's fine. Because I'm going to need the emotional support while I read it.
Our library system is spread out. I'm in Northwest Ontario, so there's not a big city in Ontario close by. I'm closer to Manitoba than the closest city in Ontario. It looks like a UFO, kind of. I agree, but I also think it looks more like a juicer. I've always that's how I just see it. It's like somebody needs to stick a giant orange on top and just grind it.
That should be like the Halloween thing. They should make that look like a juicer for Halloween.
In Sao Paulo, Brazil, they have similar or small libraries that have movable shelving units. It was so cool to see. For a little space, they had a lot of books. Oh, like you could like separate them, or
like a lot of universities have that, and they have like the buttons that they can open up the.
I need that in my house. Just move my shelves around so I can get to shelves behind them. Except then you run out of floor eventually. Yeah, I'm kind of getting to that point where I'm like, do I need so many books? And instead of wanting to continue growing my library, I want to like shrink my library a little, which is why I've been doing a lot more audiobooks, even though I'll like also use audiobooks for the I currently have. Instead of buying more books, I'll just be like, okay, well, let me see if I can get this on Libby or Hoopla, or okay, I can't. Let me get it on Audible because I have all these credits.
Oh yeah, I've been very much in the mindset of I'm gonna not keep the books that I know I'm not gonna either reread, or ones that I didn't like enough that I've just been like, no, they don't need to be here anymore.
Let's see, a while ago you stated that you were going to get rid of all your books so that you and Marty can retire somewhere awesome.
How's that going?
I mean, I have hauled significantly less books this year than I think I ever have. Now, granted, half the year I was out of the country.
Oh, see, that's where I get most of my books is when I go on vacation.
Oh, thank
Hi,
you.
Ash.
Hey,
Mel says
We see an
hi.
arm.
He waved.
Now, I do end up buying a little bit when I'm traveling, but not a lot because books are heavy. And I had to keep buying suitcases when I was traveling. We literally, I was dumb, okay? I thought, yeah, we just need a backpack to travel here. We're not gonna do a whole bunch of suitcases. I was gonna do one big suitcase for Snicker because he went, he was with us, and I was like, I have to have one big suitcase for him because his dog food and all of his other stuff. And I was like, but for mine and Xander's stuff, we're gonna just have these big like hiking backpacks. And we packed like that. We flew to Rome, and we spent. Well, we went immediately from Rome to Civitavecchia, which is where we were gonna get on the cruise from. And I think we were our first day there, and Xander and I walked like a gazillion miles to go and buy some luggage. Because we're like, this is not going to work. And so we bought 2 big suitcases and sent the backpacks back with Marty because he flew back after we did that cruise. And then while we were gone, throughout, I think we were in the UK, about 2 more big suitcases. So we ended up with like 5 big suitcases. Yeah. And so now I have way too many suitcases in my house. I don't even need all these suitcases. Because I had big suitcases here at home. I was just like, no, I don't need all that. We're just going to travel light.
Yeah, I forget how many books I brought back from my 2 weeks in London. I think it was like maybe 13 or so, and I brought those back in my luggage, my carry-on, and my suitcase. But I also use my mom's, what was her new flight attendant luggage that she never got to use. So flight attendant, the brand that they use has so many hidden pockets. Like you could fit anything in there. Like it was like a Mary Poppins bag. Like I just kept finding places to put stuff, and I was like, I don't know how all of this is fitting in here, but it is. And it was like under the weight limit and everything, and I was like, okay, this is golden.
That's cool.
So I just call it magical luggage.
I've tried to figure out like how can I get some of this luggage the flight attendants use.
Oh, you can buy it.
Yeah. I bring a backpack as my personal item and a carry-on bag only when I travel. I never check bags. I'd be afraid they'd lose it. So I much prefer not to chance it and to just do laundry while there. So I didn't have to worry about the bags getting lost coming back because we were taking a cruise back. So I didn't have to worry about the flights. But I mean, I think, yeah, we did have one layover when we were flying to Rome. We had a layover in Atlanta. And ever since then, poor Marty, he's been on a list. When you leave, when you fly to Europe with your family and you come back without your family, you're on a list. So, like I don't know if you've ever seen the things about people getting like the SSSS on their ticket, and then they have to be like searched and stuff.
Oh my god!
It's permanently on his. So now anytime he flies anywhere, they do a special search of him because they're like, "There's something up with you. If you went there and left your family." So we had to go and get some kind of redressing number for him because to make that go away. Because yeah, he's on a list now.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he was like, I don't know why. He's like, it took him he didn't realize that this was why. But he's like, yeah, when I came back from Rome, they did this whole big extra thing. And then when he and I flew just recently to Venice, they had to pull him aside like at the gate and do an extra search of him and all his stuff. And he's like, I don't know why, they got me on some list or something. I was like researching. I was like,
legitimately.
Yeah. I was researching. I was like, yeah, one of those things
Poor
that could
that poor Marty
with the family and came back without one.
That's so funny.
That's hilarious. I can't. Oh my gosh.
Poor Marty is right. I'm just like, good Lord. But yeah, every time we go to get on something, they would have to do this extra search of him, and he's like, I mean, go ahead, but yeah, there's a few different things that can cause that. Like if your name closely resembles somebody else that caused any kind of issue or is on some other kind of list, or if you've had any suspicious activity
like leaving your family.
Like you just arrived with your family a week ago and now they're not here.
Back. I don't know. You're going to be on the serial killer maybe checklist.
You had a wife, a son, and a dog.
And now they're gone.
Now it's just you.
Maybe you should have sent the dog back and that would have been okay.
It was really the dog that they were probably the most concerned.
I know that would have been my concern.
Like, something is not adding up.
Oh my god.
This math is not mathing.
Yeah.
No, the only weird looks we would get would be my dad and I would go, since my mom was a flight attendant, she would be working the flight and we would go with her for Thanksgiving. So we had started going someplace every Thanksgiving. When you have to tell the agent at the country you're coming to that you're only there for 24 hours and you're in a foreign country, they just look at you a little strange. You're like, and then you just go, we're with the flight attendants. And then they're like, oh, okay. We're like, yeah. So I've only been to Dublin for 24 hours.
The flight attendants, that's a typical thing for them, so that would make sense. But yeah, they'll question.
They just stare at you and they're like, what? Like, that's crazy. We're like, oh, look, we're just with the flight attendants. We decided to come on the trip. There was room. Usually they were 48 hours, but the Dublin one was 24, and we're like, yeah, we know it's nuts. Believe us, we know.
That's some
that was Rome as well. I think that one was 24 or 48. No, I think it was 24.
That would be some major jet lag.
Just don't sleep. Don't sleep when you get there. Yeah. You gotta hit the ground running, and jet lag is not a deal.
When we went
when you get back.
When we went to Thailand, we had one of our past exchange students, her whole family was there at the airport to pick us up. And they're like, okay, we're going to take you to this and this and this, and we're going to keep you up, and we're going to make sure you stay awake until you need to go to sleep tonight. And I mean, Xander didn't. Xander was asleep everywhere. Like the dinner table, everywhere we went, he would just pass out. He couldn't stay awake. But they were like, we were walking around zombies, but they helped us with the jet lag by just not letting us. If they had taken us back to our hotel, we would have been out fast.
Yeah, you just cannot sleep, and it sucks. But you just you got to do it, or there's just no way.
When we went to Venice, Marty was like, "Can we please go sleep?" He was so tired. I was so tired. We were exhausted, and I was like, "No, we can't. We got to stay up." It was. I want to say like early afternoon when we got to our hotel. And I was like, no, at this point, we got to stay up. Just, we'll eat an early dinner and then we'll go to bed. We'll go to bed super early tonight and then we'll be good. But I was like, we got to stay up until at least like 5 o'clock. We can have dinner at 5 o'clock. And he's like, okay, I can do it. And then 5 o'clock comes around. There's nothing open at 5 o'clock because we're in Italy and they don't eat dinner at 5 o'clock.
No.
And so he's like, but I want to go to sleep. And I was like, okay, well, we just have to find a place that's open, which like the soonest place open at like, I want to say 6 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we ate quickly and we were back in our hotel and in bed by like 7:30 or something like that. But he was just like, I'm so tired. We slept so hard. I'm going to keep that in mind, though. I'm flying to Germany with my friend and her daughter next year. We haven't booked anything yet, but now I'm going to book mine separately. They're staying an extra week. Yeah. And either you're probably not going to be able to book it where you arrive at night because most of the flights don't arrive there at night. They'll typically arrive. They'll be an overnight flight. So you'll get there typically bright and early in the morning or maybe 10 o'clock in the morning or something like that. And so try as you might to sleep on the plane. Good luck with that. It's not easy.
Put a blanket over your head.
Yeah. Sleeping on a plane is so hard and you're not going to get good sleep. But once you get there, just suffer through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just suffer through staying awake and do whatever you can to keep moving. Because if you get still, even if you're out in public, if you get still, you'll start to doze off. Don't sit on a park bench because they'll think you're homeless because you're just going to be like,
fall right over.
My flight to America, that was
a flight. Yeah.
Like I remember I had, because I went from Australia, I don't think I had any stopovers. I think I just went direct to one of the American airports, and then I was going up to Seattle.
You probably went to LA.
Yeah. I remember I was in LA. I had my big backpack on and just like a carry on with me as well. And I was hunched over, hugging my backpack, asleep in the airport chair, just like dead to the world. And then I just wake up and I'm like, oh shit, my flight. And it was like, you know, it was time to go. And I was like, oh shit, I'm glad I didn't set an alarm. Shit. Yep. But that was like 6 o'clock in America. And I'd been traveling for
a long time.
A long time.
Yeah.
It's like I want to say 8, coming this direction. I can't remember. One way it is like 18 hours and the other it's like 21 hours. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a long flight.
I felt so bad for the people sitting next to me because it was for my 21st, so I was doing it solo. Mm-hmm. And I finished reading The Book Thief.
Oh gosh.
I then watched The Good Dinosaur and Inside Out.
Oh gosh.
And then I watched The Intern with Anne Hathaway and Robert De Niro and still continued to cry the entire time.
Oh my goodness.
I watched Coco on the plane. Biggest mistake of my life. I turned to my mother and I'm just like sobbing down my face.
And like I'm still young. Like I haven't even turned 21 at this point. I'm 20. I did travel solo before. It wasn't my first flight alone. Mm-hmm. But this couple sitting next to me just like kept glancing over and they're like, are you okay, honey? Is there like anyone on the flight you want us to talk to? I'm like, no, I'm fine. I just made really bad choices and I'm emotionally volatile because I'm so tired. And they're like, okay.
Yeah, we did that flight last year? No, the year before, something like that, where we flew to Sydney, and so we flew from Chattanooga to Atlanta, from Atlanta to LA, and then from LA to Sydney, and that one was hard. That one was
Yeah.
real hard. That was a
Yeah.
long freaking day because our day started like we didn't have an overnight anywhere. Our day started in Chattanooga, and it's like about an hour. So you have to get to the airport like 2 hours before. Chattanooga Airport, even at an international, and you don't need to get there any earlier than 2 hours before because it's a tiny airport. And then it's like an hour flight to Atlanta, and then however long between the flights, and then I think it's like 5 hours flight to LA, and then the 20-ish hours to Sydney. So yeah, that was, we were exhausted. I think that one we just said screw the jet lag and we slept.
Yeah.
Like that entire first day.
I think I landed at like 4:00 in the afternoon. So I went and found like some 2-minute noodles to make at the Airbnb that I was staying at, and just FaceTime my mum crying, and she's like, please, for the love of God, just go to sleep. Do not try and stay up. You're just overtired right now. You know this. Just go to sleep. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, there's no when you do a flight that long,
there's no. Yeah.
You just got to give in.
Home was fine.
You got to give in and just allow yourself, that extra amount of time that you need for your trip to go, okay, this first day is sleep. This first day, I'm going to do mundane things that don't require any thought or much energy because I'm not going to be myself.
There is smooth brain. There is nothing.
There are no wrinkles in this brain anymore. It's mush. My brain melted. I'm sorry.
I tried.
Yeah, I can't sleep on a plane. I was up almost 48 hours straight from driving to the airport and flying and longer stops than planned when I went to Brazil. That's wild. That's a long time just to go to Brazil. I mean, Brazil's not close, but I imagine it's a lot closer to get to than Australia. Yeah. But that's a long time. Yeah, I want to say when we did Australia, it was probably the equivalent of close to that overall from the time we got up and started our day in Chattanooga to the time we finished in Sydney. It was probably close to 48 hours.
You would have lost a day as well with time zones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of.
So then you were like going like from the 1st, but you ended up in Sydney on the 3rd.
Time travel, man.
Yeah. It's fun. Welcome to the future.
Yeah, it's like when we left Venice, like when we were going there, we went into the future, but when we were coming back from Venice, it was like we left at, I don't even remember, 10 o'clock in the morning, but we arrived back in Chattanooga at like 6 p.m. Not accurate time. Or maybe it was like noon or 2 to 6 p.m. I was like, no, this is not correct. But it was like the time changes and everything. But when we went there, we got there the day after we left.
Time zones are so weird.
Necessary though, because you can't exactly say it's the same time all around, because
2
a.m. here would be very different from 2 a.m. there. It was the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, 2 a.m. That's great. That's the middle of the day for me.
Yeah, that's great. Please.
That would be weird if everybody was on the same time zone.
And my brain just like completely died trying to think. I'm like, nah, too abstract of a concept. Brain cannot compute even with medication.
It's not doing that level.
Too much. Too much.
Oh me. Oh, Paige, can I see your mug?
Oh yeah.
That's cute.
That is cute.
Christopher Vine, Australia, presented by the Mob.
You know,
Yeah.
no, I'm not gonna say. No.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
I'm gonna say it in the private chat. Maybe let me change what I'm gonna say. I was about to say something.
Say it.
And say, do you want a big hint for Bookmas?
Christopher Vine, Australia. Pugs, glasses, the Mob.
They said, say it.
There's no fear.
Ha 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 ha. Paige says, I ain't gonna say no.
Too funny.
See, I can't say it on the live because it would spoil things for Mary Bookmas announcement videos, but I can share with my co-host.
It's one of those things where we're like, I know something you don't.
Oh.
I'm back with some ice cream. Yum. What kind of ice cream? Drew, they're getting behind the scenes hints. So mean.
I have a book, but I don't know. But now I'm like, I think I wrapped it, so I don't think it's out.
You could put in the title into the.
I don't remember what the full title is. That's the problem. I just can remember. I have the cover is in the brain.
You know what? You can type into the private chat what's on the cover, and I can tell you if you're right or not. I hear the click, 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 click.
Oh.
No, like I just gave them a hint about the potential, or I gave them a hint on the group book for Mary Bookmas. But I can't say it into the video because I don't want to spoil the announcement videos. No, to what you said, Paige.
Yeah.
But
it's just like
there's a no but.
Hold on, I'm just seeing if this person. Okay, I just wanted to see if they even still were writing books.
I don't know. She's sharing hints with Paige and Kimberly behind the scenes. Yeah, they're taking guess. Wait. Uh-huh. Kimberly just figured out the author. Holy cow, what's going on?
The success that I feel.
But do you know the book?
I think I do, but
I went to frozen yogurt and got chocolate and vanilla with sprinkles, M&Ms, and Hershey syrup.
I know she has some other ones.
You're correct.
That's the one I have wrapped. I'm gonna have to go find it.
But but no telly, okay?
Oh no, my lips are sealed.
Paige, text me on Discord, or Kim, you too. No.
We are sworn to the vow of silence and secrecy.
I feel
they
so
got
much
the head-
success. That was just
Yeah.
a hit of like every like serotonin, dopamine. Like I'm set. I'm gonna have to really go figure out where that book is though, because I do own it. And it's not
so
with my
funny.
other holiday books, which means I think it is wrapped.
Yeah, I don't own this book, so I'm gonna have to get it.
You're just gonna have to like speed
I
read through
literally
your
just
rap books
bought it
over
randomly
Christmas.
during the holiday season one year.
Yeah, so you could look up on Goodreads like how many pages it is and get an idea of how thick maybe it might be.
Yeah.
And then kind of figure out from there and start like speed reading through those, or just peeking in them.
Well, because I think they're like I ended up wrapping like half my TBR. There's like 4 tote bags full of wrapped books in my closet. I do not remember any of them at all. And so every time I have to go unwrap one, I'm like, oh, that's where that went. So like I literally cannot buy myself any backlist books barely at all because I just don't know if I already have it.
That's what I would be afraid of. See, I would be the one to wrap them up and forget and then buy them again.
Because it was meant to be like a whole video, and I just forgot kind of to film it, so they're just chilling.
Yeah, you might want to like go and start peeking in because you don't want to end up
have like
that one.
The genres written on it, so it's like fantasy, historical fiction. Some of them do have a question mark because I immediately forgot what they were after I wrapped it.
Well, hopefully this one's not one of the question mark ones.
But I think this one for me is like is more like pocketbook size, like in the back. Like I could fit it in my back pocket if I wanted to.
So you'll be able to, yeah.
So I think I can find it easily.
I can't go through this again to see if Drew is activated. I think that's supposed to be Detective Drew is activated.
Yes.
Yeah, poor Drew.
Oh my god, I can't believe I guessed it.
I forget which round it was, but my wine tier coffee patrons are the first to know that they actually get they get all the details as I'm planning, and they know what the theme is because every Merry Bookmas I do a different theme. So like the first theme was the 12 like carols of Christmas, like 12 different. And so it was based on not just Christmas, but like it was Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, like all the different holidays. And so it was like different songs for those. And it was 12 different prompts. And then we did like the 12 treats of Bookmas. And then last year we did the 12 days of Bookmas, where we used the lyrics from the 12 days of Christmas to do all the prompts. And this year I've already come up with a theme. I've told my coffee patrons or my wine tier coffee patrons, and then they get after I make my list of all the potential authors, they get to vote, and they determine the order in which I reach out to authors and stuff. And so they know all the good stuff. And so a couple of rounds ago, in the live show, it was just me and my co-hosts and my wine tier coffee patrons and Drew. And so everybody knew except for Drew. And he was
Drew.
It was driving him crazy to not know. You can private message Drew and I with the hint. We won't tell. Now, see, I know Drew will tell. He can't.
I mean, the hint is right in front of your faces.
Do what?
The hint's really right in front of their faces. So
yeah.
If they just look.
Yeah. Or if they caught on to something else that some other things I said or things I pointed out. Okay, just me then. I'm having FOMO. You know, it won't be like a very long time until the announcements. You only have to wait like a month.
Oh my god, that's coming up way too quickly. Oh.
The announcements will be in like a month.
My coworker, so we're on a fortnightly pay cycle at my work, and my coworker goes to me the other day. She's like, it's only 6 pay days until Christmas. And I'm like, can you not? Please? Please,
Really?
no. Just,
Yeah, like I have to, let's see, because of my trip and everything, I am filming my Merry Bookmas announcement on October 10th.
Sorry, just the last comment.
Broken
Savagery in the comments right now.
Not
Keep
again.
going.
It's not FOMO, Drew. You're in fact.
It's not a feeling. You actually
are. There isn't the fear, it's just the actuality of the situation.
Sorry, Drew.
Oh, I feel so bad, but it's so funny. Oh, I've really got to say that to my dad more. He's like, I got FOMO.
So what y'all can do is y'all can go and like rewatch the last, I don't know, half hour or so from this point of the live show and pick apart things, and you might I say it with kindness. I'm missing out too. You're not alone. That was perfect. You are in fact missing out. I'm just gonna keep this one up. It's funny. But also, Mama is right. I can't keep a secret. I
know. At least you're aware of your own limitations.
Clint was the same way. Like Clint could not keep like. I would tell them who I got, and they would like freak out and be all excited. And the next thing I know, 15 people would know. And I'm like, you're not supposed to tell anybody. He's like, I only told so and so, so and so, so and so, and so and so, and they told so and so, so and so, and so and so.
And this is why let's
yeah.
Oh, too good.
Yeah, right now I only have 2 wine tier coffee patrons, so there's only not including myself. There are only 6 people that currently know the group book and the author. It's, my 2 co-hosts for that round, you 2, and my 2 wine coffee patrons. It's because both Clint and I are gays, and gays can't keep a secret.
Is that how that works? Okay.
No more closet. We're gonna tell everything. Big or small, it's all coming out. Oh my god, I'm hot. Oh,
it's like my mother. She always says to me, back in my day, there were no such thing as lesbians. And I was like, no, they were still hiding in the goddamn closet. And she's like, oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, yes, there definitely was.
They're there. But people just put it as they're just friends that live together.
Yeah, they're just friends. Very close friends.
Oh, that was too funny.
If I'm out, so is the secrets.
Oh, lordy. Oh, lordy.
That was funny. Oh, making me sweat. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was actually one that I was not expecting anybody to guess at all, because that's sort of a random book, not something that people would be like, oh yeah, this book definitely. Like if I said, Rebecca Yarros, oh yeah, that's Fourth Wing definitely.
Yeah.
But this one's like, it's who? It's what?
It's what? I am so impressed with you getting it. Because there was no
it's
way.
only because I actually have it. And otherwise I wouldn't have gotten it.
And also that one part that I kind of drew attention to of pages.
Honestly, immediately when you said that, and my brain went, oh, could it be this one?
I have so many books. Could it be?
Visual learners.
Yeah, I do not have that book. I have to get that. And it's going to have to be in a haul that comes after my announcement video. Which, I mean, my hauls tend to come way, way later anyway. The hauls that I'm filming tonight, they're probably not going to post until next year, probably.
Oh.
I don't know.
Wish I was that ahead on
my so I have this planner that I have to follow to stay on track of anything. Right now it's buried in books. So my planner, it's all color coded with little post-it notes. So these pinks, those are filming, blues are editing, and these are videos posting or me setting up the live show. So you'll see tomorrow is my Wheel of TBR posting. And then I also have work on next SeasonAthon or work on my new channel because I have a new channel coming.
Ooh.
Or do housework or whatever. And so I'm literally, my schedule is planned out all the way to the end of the year. And then all of this, all these tabs like this are ones that will have already been done and need to be edited or uploaded and posted to the next year.
That's amazing. I haven't filmed my
brain just
TBR
malfunctioned.
And I've had that pretty much set since almost the beginning of the year. Yeah. And then as I need to, I do kind of move things around, which is great because they're little post-it notes, so I can easily move them around. But some of those videos are actually going to be not on this channel; they'll be on the new channel. But I have to film an announcement thing for the new channel and figure out when I'm going to have that start. I've already set it up. I have the channel name. I have it all customized. I have my banner. I have my profile. I have my watermark. I got all the things. And I've even got 7 videos already edited and uploaded, and they're unlisted right now. So what I'm doing is I'm going to. So I'm not going to be putting any more of my travel videos on my main channel. And I'm starting this new channel. If y'all want to check it out, y'all can go ahead and subscribe. It's called My Grand Adventures. And all my travel stuff's going to be on that one. And so what I've started doing is taking my past videos that were travel videos or, just kind of come with me to this thing that I can edit to be take out all the stuff that's for this channel. And edit it down a little bit and make it a new video and make it private on my main channel and then make it a new video for that channel. So there's going to be a lot of flashback. So Xander's going to be this big in the first videos. He's like, people are going to be like, wow, he's growing up really fast. Because those first 7 videos range over a whole course of a year. But, well, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now is I'm going through, and before I end up posting any of my current travel things, I'm going to go through and redo this on all of the travel videos I've already posted and then kind of take them off gradually off this channel, put them on that channel. So yeah, you'll either see some old things that you have never seen before, or you'll see some repeats for a while until I get to like middle of our European trip, because I was posting those on here and they don't get any views really. Like there's some of my best videos, like overall, like how they look and what I show, but they'll get like 72 views or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, they should not be on this channel. So I just
hard.
I even had already post edited and uploaded some of the other ones, and then I'm like, these are not getting any kind of views, so I'm just not gonna ever make them public, and then I'll just go over. To be fair, Mom, if y'all don't know, he calls me Mom. I'm booktube mama. To be fair, Mom, I only told 2 people when I became host. One was my own mama who didn't care, but thought it was cool, and the other was my bestie. Oh.
I've done that with a few things that I technically wasn't supposed to talk about, but I've told people. Like one was when I got an extra job for Hunger Games, and obviously I wasn't supposed to say anything, but I was like, I need to tell somebody that I finally got a place on this freaking movie.
That's cool.
But
I think I remember watching. Didn't you do a video on that or something?
One of my friends has done a video on that, but I've talked about it a little bit because I have a few different things that people have. You can't see me in that one though at all. It was really fun though.
That sounds fun.
It was fun getting because like I was a fan of the book already, and then so getting to see it from book to being on the set to then seeing it in the theater was just really cool.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Sasha,
yeah, because she did Divergent.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, her in Divergent. She did a video where she showed, why do I look like purple? That's so weird.
I should pull out I do have my costume pieces though, because they sold them at a sale, and one of the other girls that was in District 13 with me actually was like, hey guys, our costumes are at this sale if you guys want them. So I do have my District 13
That's
outfit.
amazing.
That's pretty cool.
I don't think I could fit into it right now, because that was my original plan, was to use it for cosplay purposes.
That's cool though.
But I do have it.
Yeah. I've got to go get my year 12 formal dress tailored. I just can't get the side up. But like, that was also 12 years ago. So the fact that I still remotely fit into it is surprising.
12 years ago. 2012.
2012? Yeah. That's
Xander
when
was like 6. Xander was 6.
I was graduating high school.
Xander was 6. So whatever I was wearing in 2012, I could probably wear now. Yeah. 2017, 28. No. Whatever I was wearing in 2019, I could not wear now because I was like on it, lost all this weight. I was feeling good. Oh, I got this dress, y'all. I like to get from ThreadUp, which is like online kind of consignment store type thing where you can get like really nice high-end things for like cheap. And I got this dress, and it was like, I don't know, a couple $100 dress normally, and I got it for probably like $30, but it was so pretty, and I put it on, and I cried when I got it like zip, and it fit perfectly, and I felt so pretty, and I was just like, I can wear it. I was so happy, and then I got fat again. And now I look at this dress and it makes me sad for another reason, because I'm like,
oh no.
That was the only day I ever wore it.
Oh,
one day when I put it on and I cried because it fit. And now I just look at it and cry because it doesn't.
I feel like that's just like under girls' story of our lives.
Yep.
Yeah, it was funny because like all these people that everybody was staying home and stuff with COVID, and a lot of people were putting on a lot of weight and stuff. I did the opposite. I mean, I was still staying home, but I was staying home anyway. And so I was working out like crazy at home and around my neighborhood. And I lost like 50 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, I lost like 50 pounds, and then I got hurt.
Oh, yeah. That puts a spanner on it.
I got hurt, and like it was stupid how I got hurt. That's how all of my getting hurts happen. It was stupid. But this one is like, so we were having somebody, I think they were working on something with either our air conditioner or our basement or something, where I took them around the back of the house, and we went under the deck because you could like walk under the deck. And I told him, when you come out, because he walked in front of me, and I was like, when you come out, watch your head, because there was like this one board that was broken and sticking down. Not 20 seconds later, I turned around and slammed my head into the board that I told him to watch out for. And I ended up with this massive concussion. And it gave me, I forget what it was called, but essentially like a brain fever. Yeah, it's wild. And it was like a fever that you couldn't take Tylenol or anything like that. It would not make the fever go away. And I couldn't walk from one end of my house to the other without getting dizzy or my words. I would lose words. I couldn't think of words, and my words would slur, and like I sounded drunk. And yeah, we eventually got to where like we tried walking down the street one day, and like I had to stop, and Marty had to go home and get the car to come back and get me, because I got to where I couldn't talk anymore. And and before that, I was running like running a 5K every day, 5 to 6 days a week.
Jesus.
And it was fine. But then I got hurt, and it was like a long time before I could do anything. And I got depressed because I was like, I couldn't function, and I couldn't go do the working out, which made me start gaining weight. And then I was getting depressed because I was gaining weight. And then I stared eating more because I was depressed. And I was just like, oh,
it's okay, Mom. It's okay.
It's okay.
No. I was just like, oh, screw it. I'll just be fat. Yeah. You're right.
Oh, so much love.
I get all the love. This guy gives so much love. He's like, what is this on your eyes?
It's not my clothes.
Yeah, not my clothes.
He's the bestest boy. Yeah.
Oh, baby. Hello.
Ooh, pretty.
Nice.
What the hair? It's so bright.
Yeah.
You're the bestest boy too, Einstein. Einstein's like, what about me? What about me?
You're his bestest boy as well.
Best boy too.
I'm a good boy. Yes, you're a good boy.
You're the goodest boys.
Oh,
hello.
Oh,
look at your little smiley face. Oh, hello.
I'm a good boy.
Hello.
Snicker is attacking his tail. Now they're gonna wrestle. Yep, they're silly. I think he's got Snicker in a headlock. Oh, I laughed, and they're both like, "What? You talking about us? What is it? What is it?" They're my goofy goobers. All right. Well, this was fun. Did y'all enjoy co-hosting?
Yeah, it was fun.
It was so good. Because from what I've heard, G is going to keep Aurelium in September going forward. I think that's what I've heard. So
I liked it better when she did it in August.
Yeah.
When she moved it to September this year, I was like, well, crap.
Oh, bothers.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, I mean, fortunately, SeasonAthon Academy is probably out of all the SeasonAthons the chillest as far as like prompts and stuff like that, because you legit just have like just the 5 really.
Yeah.
And I think with a lot of those you can make it work with the stuff that she has in Aurelium.
And they're both like academies, so you're a student at both. But like,
yeah, I mean it does kind of overshadow SeasonAthon significantly because it's G and Aurelium, and it's been around longer and is significantly larger in scale. But I think it'll still be fine. I mean,
I made it work.
yeah,
I've made it work.
I made it work. There was plenty of overlap that I was able to make it work, especially with the little I can read more than one book per prompt for stuff for G.
Yeah.
That was helpful, and I was like, oh perfect, I can use these for all of these now.
Yeah, and like I think SeasonAthon Academy is the only one that we don't double up on prompts. Because it is just the 5. But like, and I know she does her spring. I don't know if is she gonna continue doing the spring?
I think so. I think it was always supposed to be April and September.
Yeah. But granted, our spring is in March, but spring is another one that's pretty chill. With it's just a bingo board, and with that you can one book can cover many spots on the board. So I know a lot of people want to get blackouts and stuff, so they can do that. Like have one book count for like 5 different things. One book can give you a bingo.
I'd be impressed.
I've seen it. I've seen it. I think the biggest ones, that like the more in-depth ones, tend to be Mary Bookmas and the summer ones, which we have like the camp theme for summer, and the different teams and all that stuff. And then Mary Bookmas, there's 12 prompts. Granted, not all of them are reading prompts, but there are 12 prompts. So, and again, you can double up and triple up and all that good stuff. So, I'm excited about our theme this year. It was fun because like, I was just like, I told my co-host, this is what we're going to do for the theme. And, here's some examples. Like here's some things that fit that theme, and then they also gave some things that fit the theme, and then I've taken kind of a mix of everybody's and we have our pretty much our 12 prompts at this point. Literally the last one was the hardest to figure out. The last one is the for the group book, and to fit with the theme, it was trickier. Yeah, I'll give you another little, since you already know the group book and author.
I still can't believe I guessed it right.
Yeah, Drew might get more FOMO.
You're getting the
not a feeling. It's actually happening. Oh.
And so they're all holiday things. They're all holiday things.
Yeah.
And so it was like trying to find the right one for that group book.
Yeah.
was tricky.
Ooh, well, I can't wait for the video so we can see what it's all about.
Yeah, that'll be November
Gotta see how many books I have to pack on the cruise.
That video.
I'm gonna be on a boat by the pool reading Christmas books.
Perfect.
Wait, where is that video posting? Hold on. It usually posts the first Saturday of the month before, but I'm not seeing where I put it. Where is it? Where's the Mary Bookmas announcement? Where the heck is it? Did I forget to put this post-it note down? Like I'm not seeing it.
The one post-it note that got forgotten.
Is it
I
on a
don't
different
see
color than you're anticipating?
Like I see where I'm supposed to film it. I see where I'm supposed to edit it, but I don't see where it's supposed to post.
Well, good thing we asked.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Wait, why is it posting there? That's not right. Right now, it's got. For some reason, I have it posting October 19th, and I'm gonna have to move that. That's not the time. It'll probably post November 2nd.
Nice. That really isn't that far away.
Yeah, October 19th. This makes no sense. I don't know why I put it there. I don't think I was paying attention to where I put that sticker. And I was just like, I need a video on this date.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to see. This is why it's good that they're sticky
right.
notes. Because occasionally I'm stupid. Post-it notes on my friend.
Ash introduced me to Google Calendar, and it's like being so good for my brain.
Oh yeah, we have
dogs.
I have that for all the appointments and stuff. This is what ours looks like.
Oh goodness.
But that's got Marty's work schedule and stuff on it too. Oh my goodness, big baby.
I love it.
This is Milo.
Hi, Milo.
Hi, Milo.
Oh, you pretty.
Bye-bye.
You're so cute.
He's like, okay, I go now.
I go over here now.
Oh,
Yeah, I have to
one.
keep Marty's schedule on our Google thing so that I know when he's working, because his schedule, he has like a rotating shift schedule. And they also just came out of outage schedule. So he's on nights right now. He worked nights last night, tonight, Sunday, and Monday night. And then he's got to switch and go back on days, and he'll work days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then he'll have to switch on Monday because they'll have to work nights, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And they're 12-hour shifts too.
That hurts my soul. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. It's a rough schedule. He never gets like his circadian rhythm is always
all crazy.
Because he never has the opportunity to like, except for when they're on like this outage schedule that they were just on, where he stays on the same thing the whole time. The rest of the time he's going back and forth, so he never gets a chance to fully adjust, because by the time he adjusts, it's time to flip again.
Yeah.
But on the outage, he works like 4 nights, gets 1 night off, works 4 nights, gets 1 night off, and does that for however long, like a month, 2 months, 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Then he actually gets exhausted, but but he does get used to his schedule.
Yeah.
He literally, we had let's see, right at when we went to the Mediterranean cruise, he came back and they started an outage, and he was on the outage the entire time we were in Europe, and ended like the week before we came back so that he could join us on the last part of the vacation. And then they ended up having to go into another outage right before our trip to Venice and to do the Greek Isles cruise. And so he was supposed to go back on that schedule then. And he's like, I can't. He's like, I've already got to leave. I'm not going to be here. But as soon as we got back, fortunately, the schedule, the jet lag thing worked for him because he had to immediately jump into that night schedule when we got back.
Mm-hmm.
I much prefer my 4 and 10s. Yeah, that's working 4 days and then getting 10 hours a day and then getting, I don't know, however many days off. Do you get 3 days off or just 1? When they're on that outage schedule, though, he might spank. So he's always like, "Oh, you have to go to outage? Oh,
darn.
I guess I just have to go to Europe." I mean, you're not. I mean, he's literally not here. You know, he's either during the outage, he's sleeping or he's at work, except for his one day off, and then he's sleeping the entire day, and then he'll wake up a little. When he sleeps in, he'll wake up maybe 6 o'clock at night. So I only see him for a couple of hours every 5 days. So it's like, that's a perfect time for me to go traipsing around wherever.
Love it.
And I know money won't run out then.
Yeah.
Because he's still doing. No, actually, money did run out. He's kind of like, yeah, so can you, like, not? Because I would have to, like, every so many days be like, hey, can you pay some on this card? Because I was using this one card, and he's like, okay. And then, you know, he'd pay on it, and then a few days later, hey, can you pay some more on this card? And he's like, okay. Then he'd pay it on it. A few more days, hey, can you pay some more? Now, wait a minute. What are you doing? He's like, slow down a little bit, okay? We don't need all the souvenirs. A little bit.
Maybe
Just most of
you
them.
don't need all the souvenirs. I need all the souvenirs.
Yeah. Now it's the credit card needs all the money. All the money. Oh my goodness. Interest rates are not fun. Because, yeah, right now they're taking all the money and charging like $500+ a month in interest. Yeah, that's not fun.
Nope.
But I also have so many things like auto set up on credit cards. And Marty's like, would you stop charging things to the card? I'm like, I'm not meaning to. I'm using a different card for everything else. I'm using a new credit card. Yeah, well, I got a new Royal Caribbean credit card, and he's like, why did you do that? I'm like, because they gave me more points.
The points are the bestest.
The points are the bestest. I like the points.
The points let me go on more cruises.
Yeah.
More cruises, more on-board credit. You know, it's free money. He's like, no, it's definitely not free money.
Girl math.
He also reminds me every time I say, oh, I'm getting another free cruise. He's like, they're not free cruises.
Yeah.
He's like,
close enough.
I'm like, it's way cheaper than it would be if I paid full price. And he's like, yeah, but you wouldn't be doing as many. He's like, also, they're not free when you pay for hotel, if it's airfare, if you play in the casino to get more free cruises.
Like, you're ruining my free cruise. Stop it.
If you want to go on excursions, if you want to do this, it's not free.
But I is on a boat.
He's on a boat, and I get to go places. Yes, 3 days unless we work overtime. Okay. Yeah, I'm like, it's cheaper living like that than, living on land for real. Like, for example, I paid for the 2 back-to-back cruises with just paying like the taxes and port fees. I paid $608 for 14 days. That gives me travel to all over the Caribbean for 14 days, entertainment, food. That's only $43.43 a day.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's my hotel. If you're living like that too, that's your room, that's your electricity, food.
You'd have to sell your books though.
I would do that because I can have audiobooks and ebooks, library cards. I could do that. I mean, most of them. Actually, Xander told me I can't get rid of all of them because he wants them. And I'm like, you don't even read. I'm like, why do you want my books? You don't even read. He's like, because it's cool that you have all these books. I'm like,
well, that's sweet.
Okay.
Like, okay, but you don't read.
But it's funny too. Like if I'm like, I'll tell him to read something, or didn't you read the directions? He's like, I don't know how to read. I'm like, yes, you do. I taught you. I was like, I was your teacher. I know what you can do. He tells me all the time, I can't read. I'm like, yes, you can. Don't be stupid. Yes, you can. Oh. Well, I'm glad that y'all enjoyed being co-hosts, and it was lovely having you both. And I'm glad Paige recommended you, Kimberly, to ask, because I didn't know if you'd ever found what is on my arm. I just saw there's something on my arm. I'm like, what is that? That was a little ADHD there.
We all have those moments.
I'll send you my meds.
Yeah.
Oh, I have some.
Like, I'm just sitting here playing with my hair for the last 45 minutes. I'm just like, I got nothing.
I don't have enough to play.
Yeah, I don't know if you had ever seen anything about SeasonAthon before.
I had seen it. I just had never participated in it, so it was fun.
But it's funny that Paige, that you had recommended her, because I'd actually met her before. We actually met in person, and exchanged bookmarks. We were in line. I think we were in line for Cassandra Clare. Actually,
maybe. I can't remember who we were in line for.
We were in line at Y'all Fest together, and I don't know if it was it may not even been for the same author. It may not have been for Cassandra Clare, but we were in this like hallway type thing between
a little archway, and there was like 3 different, I think, author lines happening in the same.
Yeah, and you were in one directly across from me. And we were just kind of like chilling for a long time, and I think I had like passed you my bookmark because I was giving everybody my bookmark. Yeah. And you're like, I've seen your channel, and then you're like, you told me, you're like, yeah, I do the is it TBR Cafe? And I was like, oh yeah, I'd seen your TBR Cafe.
Gotta love Y'all Fest.
Yeah. And it's funny too, like when I would make repeat trips back to Y'all Fest, and I would do the same thing, because like every time I'd stand in a line, I'd pass out all of my bookmarks. And some people would be like, I got one last year.
Have another one.
Or you've already tried to give me 3. Thank you. I'm like, you want another?
I need to make more bookmarks. I'm out of bookmarks. I've been putting them in like packages for Etsy and stuff like that, and Pango, and then I passed the rest of them out at Y'all Fest. I need to get some more.
I will like take some with you when you go on a cruise.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So I would take some with me, and I'd have some just on hand. So like if I happen to see somebody reading a book, I'm like, hey, you want a bookmark? Or if I got to talking to somebody about books or YouTube or whatever, I'd pull out a bookmark and give it to them. But also, if the ship, because some of the ships still have libraries, I would go to the library on the ship and I'd open up the bookshelves because they're usually have like the doors on them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd set some bookmarks there.
What's funny is where the rooms that are for our cruise, they're on the floor that the library's on.
Oh,
and I'm like,
perfect.
If y'all can't find me, you know where I am.
Now, please don't try and find me.
Or the library.
Most cruise ship libraries are sad.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. You're not gonna find a whole lot of books.
I'm gonna have my Kindle with me anyway.
Yeah, you'll not find a lot of books. And the ones you do find, half of them won't be in English. If that. And it's mostly the libraries nowadays are mostly for people to go and play board games and stuff. You probably find more board games than you'll find books.
That's funny.
Yeah, almost every time I go
they should turn them into little free libraries. We'll just all start donating our books while we're on the cruise.
Yeah, almost every time I go into a library on the cruise ship, I'm just like, this is so sad.
That was my first reaction when I first moved here to Georgia and walked into our local library. I was like, well, this is sad.
Oh, well, that's what it would be like probably if you walked into our local.
Granted, we had a very nice library where I lived in Florida. So then coming here, I was like, oh, this is cool, I guess.
There is one that is not part of our branch. I haven't been in it, but it's like in this town. It's a little further north of us. Actually, it's technically in the same city that I'm in. They opened up their own library, and it's like, I don't know, probably about the size of this room. I'm like, I could open up the library. I could. I can't tell you how many times I'll pass by a building that's for lease or whatever. I'm like, I can have a bookstore.
Oh, I do the same thing. There's one particular building. It's too small, but I look at it because it's been for sale for months, and I'm like, but it's way too expensive.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the prices of any of them.
This one's ridiculous.
But we used to have Books A Million, and that closed, and I was so sad when that closed because that was the only big bookstore we had really, really close. Now there is a Barnes and Noble, but it takes me a good half hour or so to get to.
Yeah, we had a Barnes and Noble and it closed, and now it's I think 20 to 25 minutes or so for the closest bigger bookstore.
And then we have a Second and Charles, but I don't know. I'm not really drawn to Second and Charles so much. Because it's a used bookstore, but also they do have new books, but they're overpriced in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then we have McKay's. Have you ever been to McKay's?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, you should go to McKay's. They have there's 3 of them. So let me see. They have 2 in Tennessee. One's here in Chattanooga. One is, I think, close to Knoxville, and I want to say the other's in North or South Carolina. Let me see. McKay's books. It is a massive.
I mean, that's only a 2.5 hour trip for me.
Okay, there's actually 5 of them. There's 3 in Tennessee and 2 in North Carolina. There's Nashville, Chattanooga, Knoxville, and then Winston-Salem and Mabane. So I guess they've expanded. But I know the one here is huge. Huge, huge, huge. And
Yeah, because I'm
there's
like a little over 2 hours from Chattanooga.
so you're north of Atlanta then, right?
South. Slightly
You're
south. I'm near the airport. I'm about 15, 20 minutes from the airport.
Okay.
I'm in the area that Trilus Studios where they film Marvel is in Walking Dead. Down in I'm in that.
You ever go to the Decatur Book Festival?
I have.
I thought about
I met Lee Bardugo for the first time was Decatur Book Festival.
I was thinking about going this year. When is it?
It's coming up, I think. I know I got an email about it. Because this is the first year I think they're back to a more normal kind of festival, I think. They had put it together with like the beer festival and I don't think it worked well.
Yeah, I think the last time I went was like the last time I went to the Decatur Book Festival was the year like when COVID began in the US.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was in Decatur when the first case was reported in New York.
Oh wow.
And so that was the last year I went to the Decatur Book Festival. But I was thinking about going this year because Kristen Simmons is going to be there. And I was like, oh my gosh, if she's going to be there, I should go and say hi.
Yeah, October 4th and 5th. So next weekend?
Oh, really soon. I might maybe. Do I want to just make a day trip out of it? Oh. See, I like to go and like stay the night and then go to the thing. Or maybe stay the 2 nights.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might have to. If I go,
I'm gonna be working. I think. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. I might
have to do like just a drive down for the day and do it, and then drive home, maybe. Because I feel like it's too short notice to try booking something without it being like absurdly expensive or way out of the way.
Yeah.
Do they have any book festivals there, Paige?
We have the Sydney Readers and Writers Festival, but not in the same level that you guys do, which is gutting. We have Supernova, which it's like the Oz Comic Con where they'll have authors come as well, but nothing like fancy, unfortunately.
I mean,
but that could also be where I'm at because I'm 4 hours out from Sydney, so there's not much out here. And
yeah, I don't know that I would call the Decatur Book Festival fancy.
No.
I mean, even Y'all Fest is not necessarily fancy, but there's a lot of YA authors.
Mm-hmm. We don't really have that sort of things, unfortunately.
We had one that was in Chattanooga for a little bit. I kind of stumbled upon, and but then I've like never heard of it since then. And that was again before COVID happened. Yeah. So I don't know if it's come back since that or not. But there were some big authors, and it was kind of neat. And it was just small kind of thing, so you got plenty of time to chat with the authors and stuff, which was neat.
That is cool when that.
Y'all Fest is definitely a much bigger scale.
Mm-hmm.
Where a lot of people go.
I kind of miss the first year we went. it wasn't nearly as many people as it is now.
Yeah, it's gotten huge. Like
It's crazy.
yeah,
It's
I
still
remember.
fun, but and last year with the rain, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I didn't go last year.
Oh my, it was not great. Mostly just because it rained all Saturday. So all the arc drops, everything, so everything is wet. I don't think my feet dried out at all that entire week.
Oh my gosh. I remember the first time I went, I did not plan properly. I did watch videos of people that went, and so I did bring like the suitcase kind of things, but also I had like the bags on the arms.
Oh, I had so many tote bags.
And like carrying books, and it was just like torture.
Multiple trips back to the car.
It was torture. But like as it went on, like going there, I was like, I knew exactly where I was going to stay, though that place is no longer in business. Like I remember the last year
over to Patriots Point. It's just too expensive now to stay in downtown Charleston.
Yeah. Oh, the last year that I went,
favorite, but
the last year that I went, there was I was so mad because I had booked months in advance of an Airbnb, and then a week or two before the event, they canceled. The Airbnb canceled. And I was so mad because I couldn't find anything else.
Oh yeah.
The prices were just ridiculous for the hotels. Everything was ridiculous because I had booked, I had booked so far out that so I was getting the best prices and all of that. But yeah, I was so mad about that. Ended up finding a place, but it was further away. It was more expensive, but there wasn't like, because they did it still plenty of time ahead, there was no penalties to them or anything, but it really screwed me over.
Yeah. My favorite was, it was a few years ago, and my cousin was getting married in Charleston that exact same weekend.
Oh.
So I was like fully ready for a wedding. Like wedding guest, like I had my dress on, I had my heels in my tote bag just in case. I'm like walking 20 minutes down to the church in Charleston. Then like, okay, did we do the wedding? Where I'm like, okay, I'm eating a little bit, dancing, saying hi to my family, say hi to the bride and groom. I'm like, okay, I have to go now, guys. I love you. Congratulations. Welcome to the family. I gotta go, running back down to get to like SmackDown.
I love SmackDown. That is one of my favorite things.
I've never walked so fast.
Fierce Friday and SmackDown are some of my favorite Y'all Fest things. So
Fierce Friday was a mess last year too.
I know it's gotten more chaotic since the first time I went, and it's a lot harder to get into now. But in the beginning, it was a piece of cake, and I went in and got most of the books that I wanted signed. And so Saturday, when all this other stuff was going on, I was able to do like all the arc drops and all of the.
Friday is always signing day. If I can, I'm gonna get all of it done that day.
Yeah, that was me. And then it was just like, try to get as much done on Friday. So Saturday is all about getting those free books.
Yeah. And we're actually, this will be the first year my friend and I are actually going, after I get done work, we're actually driving down Thursday night. So we have all Friday morning to just kind of chill.
I'm fading fast, so I'm going to sign off and go to sleep. This was fun. Thank you for hosting SeasonAthon. Thank you, Kay. And just be on the lookout for the Mary Bookmas announcement. It won't be too long. We'll see you next round. But yeah, I would like, Fierce Friday was the best. I remember the first year, I think it was, I had Marty was in the car and he dropped me off at Fierce Friday, and then he went to the other thing that was like at the public, like the regular library or something, like big library that's there. And so he was going to do that one and get all the stuff that was done there. And I sent him with all the books that needed to be signed with those authors. And then I did the other. And then when it was done, he was either going to pick me up or I was going to walk my way over there. I remember we ended up giving somebody, a mom and a daughter, a ride from Fierce Friday because they were like, we had to walk all the way back. And we were like, just hop in the back with us.
Yeah, we drove, I think, when it was over the one place because we were like, we'll just drive over there.
Yeah, the first year we were too far away. Like our hotel was too far away to drive. I mean, to walk to. The next couple of times I went, I was within walking distance because of the hotel that I had booked. And then the last time I was there at that hotel, they were like, yeah, this is they were closing like right after that. And it was going to be, I think they said it was going to be, they were going to change it so that it was like housing for like elderly or homeless or something like that. And so it was no longer going to be a hotel, so you couldn't book it. And so that was when I was like, okay, good to know. And so that's when I booked the Airbnb next time and then got screwed over. I'm like, well, that sucks. Your page, click, 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 click. What you type
there?
Just chit chatted about
Cute.
my fall nails.
It's so cute.
They're fun and there's some sparkles. I just got these done the other day. I had the book nerd nails during the last.
It was so cool.
These are fine. These are my nails until time for my trip. And then I'm getting some Irish nails. I have like fun Irish designs. Let's see. I'll show you. I give her a bunch of pictures and then I'm like, go forth and create. So we got.
Ooh, I like those.
Wait, wrong way. There we go. Those.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Ooh, those would be cool.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh. Ooh.
I think those are all. Yeah, these are the fall nail inspiration nails.
Yeah. Oh, they're so pretty.
Cute.
Oh, those are the sweater nails. That's when I come back. I've got like my nails planned for the rest of this year too. Right?
Got the content planned, got the nails planned. Teach me your ways.
It's planned. I have to plan things out and be organized in that way. That's the only thing I'm organized with in my whole life. My desk is a mess. My everything is constantly a mess. And I would do nothing and I'd miss everything if I didn't have this. It's very helpful for the ADHD brain. Like lists, schedules. Those
sticky
are
notes
that I use to help function.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't. just don't function. Just my brain's just like la 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 la.
I have there's an Australian sticker company, but they also like do stationery as well. And so like it's
I use that.
And then we got a reward chart so you can put your rewards and it's you deserve a little treat.
Vote, laundry, clean. Those are rewards?
No, they're the things I have to do and then I can get a reward.
Oh, okay. I was like, that doesn't sound like a reward.
Things to
That's
do, no buts
cute.
about it.
That's cute.
That's cute. A little
Yeah, I
cozy
can make
butt.
lists all day. It's just the procrastination part that I have to actually start doing the list.
Yeah.
So I'll do all the
I'll-
things not on the list to not have to do the list.
I
Which
also
today
like.
was watching Agatha all along.
Also, like I when it's time for me to do something like housework. Oh, Drew says, out of curiosity, what is everyone reading right now? I am reading The Star-Touched Queen by Roshani Chachki.
Kingdom of the Feared by Carrie Manistalco.
Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson.
But yeah, like when I go to clean my house, because my house is an absolute disaster in every area of it, I'm just like overwhelmed brain. And I'm like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. And if I don't have something that tells me what to do or where to start, then I just don't. I just like I'll stand there and go in a circle and not do anything. Or I'll pick up a dish off my desk and I'll take it to the kitchen, and then I'll see something that needs to go to the living room, and then I'll pick up something in the living room and take it to the dining room, and then I'm like, oh, I need to wipe off the dining room table, but oh, I need to put these games away, and oh, these games are a mess.
So we can never clean just one room at a time. It's just not a possibility.
Yeah. So then I spend the entire day and it looks like I've done nothing. So
I like having my ADHD cleaning piles. Like, I'm just gonna pile all this thing together, and then this thing. It looks like it's clean. It's not.
So I like my wheel. So I have a little wheel here. This is my
Unless
wheel.
It gives you everything you don't want to do at that time.
Well, so I originally made this one for if I just don't know what to do, whether it's I just have some free time and what am I going to spend my free time doing? I do have a different one that I end up having to use when I'm like, I need to clean, like specifically just for cleaning.
Yeah.
But I have a wheel of chores and fun. So I can just spin it and see what it tells me to do. So this would have me clean my master closet. So that's what I would go and work on.
I'm way too happy to tell you that.
Well, it's funny because the other day, and I did this in my blog, and it was funny because I was like, okay, today I need to clean my house. Like, I don't need to do any of the fun things. And I forgot I had this other wheel. It's like, I don't need to do any of the fun things. I need to get my house clean because it's a disaster. And so I'm like, all right, let's do the wheel. And I start spinning, and it was like, play a game, do diamond painting, watch a movie, play a record.
Very much like, no, you want a self-care day instead.
Then it was like, edit a video. I'm like, that's not what I'm doing today. I was like, I actually want a chore. And so I had to go onto this other wheel that I have called Rooms That Need Work. So I could just spin and see which room I needed to go to. So this would have me clean the sunroom. And that's how I know like where to start. Now, granted, that might be the only thing that gets clean, but at least something has gotten clean, and you'll actually be able to tell
that you cleaned.
Something has gotten done. Now I might have to point out, hey, did you look at this room? I did that room. The rest of the house is a garbage pile, but I did that room.
So you're just like, I did that. Now say something nice about it.
And in a week, I'll do a different room, maybe. That room will get trashed before I finish.
Oh yeah, like when I did the whole like September reset, cleaning all this stuff. Yeah, their entire desk is completely covered again. Like,
I watched that video and I was just like, oh, that must be so nice to just be able to get so much, like everything look nice and clean. And it doesn't take a huge effort to do that. You know, it's like, oh, okay, just pick up these cups and I'm like, my desk So bad.
And there's at least 3 things of drinkage that I need to take downstairs. I took 2 science projects downstairs from this room yesterday, and it was a science project. I threw
For a
the
second, I
spoon
was
away,
like,
okay?
"Who's doing a science project?" But then
It was
no.
growing things. I threw the spoon away.
Ew.
I just kept forgetting to take it. Like, I would look at it and I'd be like, I need to take that downstairs. Off I go. And I was like, oh no. I was like, I can't deal with this. I just threw it in the trash. I cleaned the mug though. The mug was fine. The spoon, I was like, nah, I ain't playing with that.
That's funny.
I find having a basket in each room that you can just pile shit into, like you don't take it to the room that it needs to go to. You just shove it in that. And then when you're finished cleaning that room, you can then take that out. So you don't get distracted trying to do all the other bits and bobs in the interim.
I have 4 laundry baskets now.
Yeah.
I have
Yep.
I have like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 laundry baskets, but they're all full. Some are full with clean laundry. Some are full with dirty laundry. Some are full with random crap, but they're all full. And so, like, I actually had to do laundry today, like fold some laundry, and I had to pull them out of the dryer and put them on our kitchen chair. And I used my suitcase that is still packed from my trip. I haven't unpacked. Use my suitcase as sort of like a little table area because my table's covered in crap. So to fold from the chair to my suitcase on top. Yeah. It's absurd.
In other words, we all a mess, and it's fine.
We're fine. There's a
We are the dog sitting at the table with the world burning around. Everything's fine.
There's a laundry basket. Okay, so we have the stackable washer dryer, and there is a laundry basket beside that. And this is in our big pantry room. So we have like the shelves and all that stuff, and we have the washer and dryer, and then we have like on this side is like the trash can and stuff. There's about this much space, enough space for a laundry hamper between the washer and the shelves. That is full. And it is full all the way to the ceiling. It is full literally to the top shelf because there's a shelf and stuff holding it. Every now and then the tower collapses all over to the pantry floor and it has to be piled back up. Not anything actually done with it, just pile it back. Oh, yeah, we all a mess. Oh, Good Girl was amazing. I have Kingdom of the Feared on my October TBR. Never read the Star Touch Queen, but love her middle grade series. Yeah, I thought I had read this before, but it doesn't seem familiar at all. I mean, I'm only on chapter 2 or something like that, but it doesn't seem familiar at all. So maybe I'm thinking of a different thing when I thought I had read it before. Definitely glad I didn't skip to book 2 because I'm like, maybe I could go to the next book because I've already read this one. No, I don't know that I ever have read this one.
Oh dear.
Or I might have and I just forgot everything, which happens. Mm-hmm. Unless the book is like Chef's Kiss, and heck, even sometimes then, it's so long after reading it, everything is gone, all of it. Unless I've read it like 15 times, like I can pretty much tell you all the stuff that goes on in City of Bones. I can pretty much tell you. I've read it many, many times. I could probably tell you most things that happen in Fourth Wing because I've read it twice. But if you ask me, I think I read this last month. I don't remember any of the characters' names. The only thing I do remember is that it's set in Chattanooga, which is the whole reason I bought the book. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Now, see, if I read the back, I can remember. But for the most part, yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I read the
you
one
read
kind of
Kingdom
weird.
of the Wicked before going to Kingdom of the Curse because it had been over a year, and I was like, yeah, I forgot half of this book.
Yeah. I read the wrong kind of weird like in August, I think. I don't remember anything about it. I remember it was queer. That's the only thing I remember. Could not tell you wait, was it queer? Actually?
Well, I keep looking back because like anything prior to the Amazing Readathon, I just don't I'm like, oh, I read that. Oh, that
This
was
year?
before? Because the Amazing Readathon broke me. I'm never doing it again. It was fun. I'm never doing it again. I can't.
I don't think I've ever participated in that one.
It was a lot.
I co-hosted it not this year, but the year before. And then for this year, I was like, broski, I can't. Please. No.
You have to be prepared, and I was not. I went into that last minute. I was not prepared.
Mm-mm.
And I never want to read that many books in a month ever again in my entire life.
Oh, that was the year
I couldn't read a book for like 2 weeks. I was like, I physically, mentally just don't want to see a book. Which is a problem in my house.
The last camp season-a-thon that we did where the teams were actually competing against each other. We don't do that anymore. But the last time the teams were competing against each other, we all read an absurd amount of books. And I can't remember how many. I want to say I read like 40 something books. And I could maybe read a book in the next month. Like my brain was just like, no, done. Can't do
like
anymore.
9 is my like my limit because that I did that for Witchathon last year and it was fine. So I think 9 is like the sweet spot of my like limit of how many I can try to read in a month.
Yeah, I think mine I want to say mine is probably around like 15 in a month.
Nope, that broke me. Wait. I couldn't think. I was struck completely with the stupid stick. Like I couldn't do anything at all.
That was how I was that August following, or no, that July, because our readathon is in June. So that July, I think I read like, I don't know, 2 books, maybe 3 at the most, whereas normally I would read like around 15-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just like, it was so hard to get through those just because my brain was just not doing it.
Yeah. No.
I only have one readathon for October. Is there any more? I'm sure I missed some. I know that Spookopoly-thon is going on in October. I really thought about doing it, but I'm like, I'm going to be gone half the month. And I'm going to be spending the first half of the month preparing to leave and trying to film all this other stuff and edit everything. Because I don't like to do a whole lot of that while I'm traveling. And so I try to pack it in before and after. And so I'm like, I'm not gonna commit to that as much as I would like to, because I do like her Bookopoly-thons.
Yeah, that's the only one I'm doing.
I read 12 in September. It's the most I've ever read in a month. Way to go!
That's awesome.
I don't know how many I've read this month.
Yeah, that for that readathon, that was the most I think I'd ever read in a month, and I was like, and for good reason.
Now I used to, like in past years, I used to read a lot more. Like my average was, I would typically read like 20 something books in a month. That was too much. And I realized that, and I was like, you know what? My goal, where people were talking about like their goals at the end of the year, and they were like, I want to read more. I want to, here's my Goodreads goal. And I'm like, I want to read less. that was the thing. I was like, I want to read less. I don't want to make myself, because I was making myself read even when I didn't.
I was forgetting more of what I was reading too.
And so it was like, I was, as soon as one book would end, I would start another, and and I would have multiples reading, going at the same
Mhm.
time, and I was just like, no. And it was like I had a book that I would be reading along with Xander, a physical book that I'd be reading by myself, a book that I'd be reading along with Marty, an audiobook that I would be listening to when I couldn't physically read. What is this?
What I've read this month, minus Barbarian, Alien, and 300-page graphic novel.
Dang.
You can't.
That's a stack.
And I still have 2 more books to go.
After the round I hosted, I got in a slump because of how many I read in June. Yeah, because he was doing it with Camp SeasonAthon, and that's when we were like, now granted, we weren't competing at that point. But we were trying to see, like, trying to beat what we did the year before. So we weren't competing against each other, but all the teams were trying to accumulate as many pages as they could. Kelly said, "Nice pile."
Thank you.
Actually,
It makes
first
me
he said
exhausted looking at it.
/news pile. Nice pile.
You know, my favorite thing on Bookstagram to do is anytime someone posts like a stack of books, or like when I post a stack of books, and everyone just sits there and comments "nice stack," and it just makes me laugh so hard. First, like, I don't know why, but I'm just like, it just gives me a giggle because it sounds so funny when I see it so many times around.
Let's see. Let me look at mine. Ugh. Actually, I don't know that I have physical books of all of the books. Nah, I'm not pulling them out.
This stack is also Sufferathon doing Sufferathon things.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yes, Sufferathon. I don't know if I would attempt to participate in that one. That one looked like I watched your first vlog, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I was suffering with you.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, dang, like you gotta get rid of these without even reading them. And
yeah.
Like,
to be fair
no
though, the
choice.
things that I have on hold, I am happy with, and I still have the itch to get rid of more, but I'm just like, my TBR is at a point where I'm actually happy and it's manageable, but I'm also just like, I still could get rid of some more.
My TBR is not manageable.
Mine either.
And half of it's in the closet wrapped up.
Actually, half mine is in a closet too, but it's not wrapped. I have these 5 Sorority healing shells. We all have closets.
This is my unhaul closet, by the way.
I did move all of my Pango books that are up on Pango to my closet so they weren't in my space.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. All right, I'm gonna take y'all on a little trip.
We're going on an adventure.
Yep.
Candy Mountain.
Okay.
Carl.
I'm gonna take you. Okay, so there's these shells. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the higher priority books. Hold on.
Ma'am.
So these are like the 4 and 5 star books that are on those shelves and those shelves. But then there's this closet that we. Hold on, hold on.
Oh
my screen went silly. It goes way. There's a whole nother shelf back there.
Oh my god.
Where's the
my goodness.
Hold on. Also,
there's all.
There's another stack back there. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yep.
I would have a field day.
It's like a bookstore. I want to go shopping, says Kelly.
Yeah.
Hold on. Then we got the unhaul closet.
This is only the first part of the adventure. There's still another part to Candy Mountain.
My screen is going wonky every time I'm.
It's like, why are you going away?
All right. So there's not a light in this closet. So I have like a little handheld light to show you. This is also the closet where the dog's food is.
Oh.
Oh my god.
You see how tall that is?
Books everywhere.
Just to give you an idea of how tall it is.
Yeah.
Comparing it to me, it goes up to here.
Oh, that is fabulous.
That's the unhaul closet.
No!
Hold on.
The one thing I'm grateful for is the fact that Pango doesn't exist in Australia. Because I would be screwed.
Okay, and then there's these bookshelves in my dining room. Hold on, there's more. Let me move the projector here.
There's a projector?
Yeah, I have a big projector.
What the fuck? Americans! It's so different!
So we don't have a TV in here. We just have this.
My God!
There's a fireplace back there. Fireplace and art. This is usually up in the ceiling. And the projector is up there.
What the?
So this is, let me stand back enough. That's the Cassandra Clare shells.
I love it. Love it.
And then over here, we got all my old books, like antique or collectible books. Then we have down here, these books will self-destruct books.
I had planned one of those videos out, and it sat on the cart that had the yarn on it that I made into my genre blanket cart for the longest time. That's what that was going to be for. Never filmed that video.
And then I'm not, there's also 2 more floor-to-ceiling bookshelves in my bedroom.
Reading retreat at Melanie's house.
I'm a little salty about reading retreat things because I've actually tried to set some of those up. Like, let's all get together and we'll meet at this one place at the Airbnb or something or wherever. Everybody get together, bring your books, we'll read, we'll hang out, we'll eat, we'll have fun. And then everybody's like, yeah, that sounds awesome. And then when it's like, okay, well, let's find a place, let's book a place. How big of a place do we need? Who wants to come? And then it's like, I don't think I can come. And then it's like, okay, one person.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That the one person failed. That was there was this woman named Barbara. I don't know what her real name is. I don't know if it's Barbara. But
Barbara
catfished the hell out of me. And like, okay, so she had been a subscriber for a long time, friend, I thought for a long time, loved her like sense of humor. She was at every live in the chats, all that stuff. Like, she would always make funny jokes and it was great. And if you've been to like my live shows, like way back in the day, you might recognize the name Barbara. And she was the one that was like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, all right. And then I had lots of other people that were all like, yeah, let's do it. And so I found a place that was like in the middle for everybody, like equal distance from pretty much everybody. And we're like, okay, we can go to this place. And there's like other, these are bookish things around this area we could do. And here's an Airbnb I found that would fit everybody. And then nobody else was going. And it was just going to be us, like me and Marty and Xander and her husband. And we're like, okay, well, we can find a smaller place. She's like, actually, I really like that place. Let's do that place. And I'm like, okay, just send me your half and I can get it booked. And she kept being like, it's on its way. It's on its way. The check's in the mail, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, eventually she was like, hey, something came up. I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm like, okay, cool. No problem. And we're like, well, we're going to go and do this other thing instead. And we were going to go to like the Mall of America in Minneapolis. And she was like, okay, hey, things have changed. We're actually going to be able to come and do something. We'll come to there, to Minneapolis, and we can hang out there. I'm like, cool. And so she's talking to me all the way, you know, they're like coming by RV or something. And then there's this whole thing of, okay, we got here, but so-and-so got sick and I don't want to leave him. Like her husband got sick and I don't want to leave him. And I mean, we'll catch you tomorrow if he's feeling better. And, oh, we ended up having to go to the emergency room and blah, 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 blah. And then everybody's fine. And then she was like, yeah, we went to the Mall of America and to eat and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, they're closed because they have really odd hours and we already knew they were closed. And she's like, oh, well, I guess we're at this different mall. And then it was just like one thing after another. And it was like, okay, well, we can get together for breakfast before we leave. And then because they were going to leave for us. And it's like, okay. And then they're like, oh, we can't. We just got on the road. We decided to go ahead. And then they were like, well, we're going to go to, she's talking about going to Chicago, and then lied about where she was going, like where they were eating and things like that. And I knew that she was because we went to Chicago before going to Minneapolis. And so like she said they went to, I think it was a Sears Tower, and ate at this restaurant. And I'm like, that's a lie. I didn't say that, but I knew that was a lie because we had literally gone there and they were shut down. Like you had to order 24 hours in advance, and it was takeout only from that restaurant because of all the COVID stuff. Like it was opening back up, but it was like not fully. And so I was like, okay, you're lying. I knew she was lying for that too. And then when we left Minneapolis, we went down to Louisville, Kentucky, and they were supposedly in Chicago. And then after Louisville, we came back home, and then they were like, they could have just been like, okay, we're going home, but no, they're like, we're making this whole trip. We're going down to Florida. We'll stop in Chattanooga and see you there. And so then they made this whole thing that, oh, we're staying in Chattanooga. We're at this hotel. They were not. And then they were talking about they went on this hike, and I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know you did rock climbing. And she's like, oh, well, he does. I just stayed behind. I was like, well, tell him to get a picture of this waterfall. It's amazing. You got to see it. And she's like, I'll tell him. And she's like, did you get a picture of the waterfall? And she's like, oh, yeah, it was beautiful. He loved it. And I'm like, it's all lies. Because I was like, I know what. It's like she Googled stuff. And I'm like, no, that's not something. There's no waterfall there. And then they were like, oh, we had to go because of whatever, and you never got to see us. And I was just like, this woman straight up like when we were in Minneapolis too. Like, so we got there, and she ended up, they told us they were staying at a different hotel than us. And so we actually, because of the pool was closed at our hotel, they gave us the opportunity to like cancel the rest of our reservation and not have any punishment or whatever. We wouldn't lose our money. And so we canceled, and we moved closer to their hotel so we could be like, so they wouldn't have to drive a long distance to hang out. I was trying to be accommodating, which I was moving us farther away from the things that we were going to be doing. They weren't even there. We moved hotels farther away from our stuff and paid more for it. They weren't even there. Yeah.
That's wild.
And I ended up eventually like calling her out on all these lies, and she was just like, yeah, I'm sorry. And then disappeared. And now, like ever since then, I've been like, I don't know who is real unless I've seen like I'm seeing y'all and talk to somebody. I'm like, I don't know who's real. Honestly, Barbara could have come back with a different name. Like
you would never know.
I'm like, I don't know if any of these stories are true. Like she told stories about her husband, her grandkids, all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, I don't know if any of it's true. And any random person that talks to me, I'm like, you could be Barbara. It's okay, Terrell. Terrell could be Barbara. I have a similar stack of books for my wrap up. I've read 12 so far, working on book 13. Nice. It's like a bookstore. I want to go shopping. You could fill so many little free libraries with those unhauls. I have a little free library. I had it set up. It's cute. It's pink. It matches my front door. But then Braden in his car backed over it. And so I had to get a replacement post thing. But I do have a little free library. Reading retreat at Melanie's house. I would totally host a reading. Well, I would totally host a reading retreat, not necessarily at my house because it's a disaster. But I would host a reading guest at my house that knew my house was a disaster and was okay with it. Which of these Ashley Herring Blake books would you want to buy, recommend, or unhaul? Delilah Green Doesn't Care, Ashton Parker Doesn't Fall, or Iris Kelly Doesn't Date. They're all part of the same series. I don't think that question works with it.
I thought you were going to say you don't want to have it at your place for safety reasons.
I mean,
not because it's messy, but for your own safety.
I mean, okay, fine. Marty wouldn't want me to have it here. I would be fine with it if my house wasn't a disaster. But I would totally be down with like getting an Airbnb in Chattanooga, here, and hosting everybody and be like, I can just bring an armful of my books. I'll load them up in my car and bring them over. I would totally do that if people, would actually come and, I don't want to pay for a thing I don't need. Kelly wants a grilled cheese now. Me too. Xander makes great grilled cheeses. I occasionally bribe him to make me grilled cheese. I'm like, he has to work off a lot of, because at a certain point in the Europe trip, I had to say, okay, anything past this point, you're paying back. Because he was all like, I'm going to buy whatever. And so, yeah, he's got work to pay off. So, yeah. And so occasionally I'll be like, I can give you time if you go cook me a grilled cheese. I'll take 10 minutes off your time if you go cook me a grilled cheese. What's the point of all the lying? What even was her end game? I don't even know. I don't know. Like, I mean, I literally knew this person for years. For years. Wild. And afterwards, we were all just like, I was telling Clint, because I told him before she ever made it to Minneapolis, I wrote Clint, and I was like, something is off. Something doesn't seem right. It seems fishy. And I told him like our conversation so far, and he was like, let's see how it goes. And I kept calling it, and it was ridiculous, like all the different things. And I was telling him throughout the whole time what was going on. And after that, we were both just like, jaded. We were jaded. Like, you don't know anybody on the internet. Oh my gosh. Like, you might think you know them. Literally, I thought she was like this
It could be Barbara.
knitting old grandma. I don't know who she is. Well, you have to invite only actual people.
But how will you know?
Kelly, you could be Barbara, okay? I don't think you actually are, but you could be Barbara, and I don't know. That is what's so hard about it, because literally you just don't know. She's like, I'm not that cool. That traumatized me, like, for real. Like,
Yeah.
I was blown away. Like, she would show up every after hours or every live that we had, and she was talking about her knitting juice, and like she would have some kind of cocktail and she'd call it her knitting juice. I got my knitting juice. And she would make all the dirty jokes and stuff, and it was hilarious, and she was fun. Like, she was a lot of fun. We liked her. But then, I mean, I would have liked whoever she was, because their personality was great.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever she is.
Whoever she
I
is.
mean, she could have been Bob for all I care. But and honestly, I was kind of like, she told me that it started and she didn't know how to stop it. And so she just kind of kept going with it. And I'm like, but you literally could have just been like, when you said y'all were going home, that could have been the end of it. You didn't need to continue saying, oh, well, we're going to go to where you live.
Yeah.
And still continuing the live.
Keep going and going and going. You just got to cut it off.
And I'm like, that made no sense. Like, at the point that you were like, yeah, we so-and-so's sick or whatever it was, you were just going to go home. That would have been a good, apparently this was their honeymoon too. I don't know. There were so many things that did not make any sense. Oh, she also talked about, like, I went to the Kate Spade store and I bought like 5 different bags because they were having a huge sale. And I was getting like really good deals on these bags. And so I like showed her all the bags, and she like made a comment about needing to go to that store and check out that sale. And she told me like one of the days that they went to it, and that she bought a couple of bags, and I was like, ooh, send me a picture. Never got a picture. Her phone disappeared. She lost her phone in Chicago, apparently. Yeah.
Yep.
But I do stream on my company page, so you can actually see me. Okay.
We can verify that she is not Barbara.
What are your thoughts on the passings of notable celebrities this past summer? Which celebrities?
Maggie Smith.
I was like, Maggie Smith's the only one that I know of.
McGonagall. That's sad. Have you seen her since? No, I never saw her. Never actually saw her. Never. No, like after having that conversation via messages.
Oh, yep.
James Earl Jones too. Oh yeah.
That's true.
Mufasa. Yeah, after having that conversation with her, she just kind of disappeared. And I mean, as far as I know, she's gone. But honestly, she could be anywhere. I really feel like that. I'm like, she could be one of my coffee patrons. She could be, just a subscriber. She could be somebody that just sits here and watches and doesn't say anything. Now, I don't know. I don't know, because I don't know who this person actually is for real. It messes with your head, man. It really does.
Couldn't tell.
traumatized.
You put a flyer up that has like when someone doesn't have a profile picture, it just says, "Are you Barbara?"
Wait. There's got to be a thing. Hold on. Where is it? No. There's got to be
a book, Finding Barbara.
There's got to be a thing here. Wait, click on. Okay, edit. Scroll across. There we go. Is it doing it?
Mm-mm.
Put a poll up with every stream. Are you Barbara? Yes or no? Are you there, Barbara? Just put this across the bottom of all of my lives.
Just checking in. We haven't heard from you in a while. I want to make sure you're okay.
Somebody's gonna come in and be like, "I'm Barbara. What do you need?" Some random Barbara. We're like, but are you the Barbara? I give everybody the side eye. I mean, with AI nowadays, Paige could be Barbara.
Who knows?
Oh, that's funny. Barbara, are you here? Barbara.
Are you there? Barbara.
Let's see. We got Kelly, Drew, Terrell. There's the only 3 people I'm seeing in the chat right now, but there's at least 5 people viewing.
Barbara could be here.
We're gossiping. No, it really feels like a sorority party. Oh.
The last time she was seen was at the sorority party. Dun, dun, dun.
Now,
The
yeah.
case of the missing Barbara.
I would 100% host a reading retreat. I think that would be such a fun thing to do. Like, just a bunch of people hanging out and reading, and just if you want to stop reading, you play some board games, cook dinner together, watch a movie that's based on a book. I mean, that would be fun. I think that would be a lot of fun.
If anyone has a laptop I could be zoomed in with, that would be great.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite books growing up that dealt with heavy and serious topics? The Babysitter's Club.
Tomorrow When the War Began.
I'm actually serious.
I'm genuine. Yeah.
They did deal with some heavy and serious topics. I mean, Dawn was diabetic, and there was that whole issue.
Just say the Camp Funny Side books.
And there was dealing with adopted parent, being adopted and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, they reached on some heavy. I mean, growing up. I mean, that's what I read growing up. Yeah. That was like my go-to thing. My first subscription box.
Scholastic. All the subscriptions.
Okay, so you know how on Scholastic, on the back, there was always a thing that you could, different things you could sign up for that would be a monthly thing. Mm-hmm. So my mom signed me up for the Babysitter Club one. And so every month I would get 2 Babysitter Club books, and then a little craft or something, like making friendship bracelets or sun catcher or whatever. And I would devour them in 3 days. But yeah, I literally had every Babysitter Club book, the entire collection, all the special editions. I devoured those things, and I wish my mom had kept them. because like I ended up wanting Becca to read them because I thought they were great, and she didn't really care for them. I ended up checking them out from the library because my mom ended up giving them to a lady that babysat us that had a younger daughter, and then she had no idea where they went because my mom called her and she's like, "Hey, you still got those books?" And the daughter's grown. She's like, "No, I don't know where they are. They're gone." They're probably still in the back of that closet. So the guest room closet. So the shelves in the guest room are like my 4 and 5 star reads, but the closet is my lower priority reads. These are my higher priority reads. The 2 shelves in my master bedroom are the series that I'm currently reading. There's 2 bookshelves full, and then stacks on the floor around. Then the only shelf, like in the dining room, only the top half of the shelves actually have books. The bottom half are all games. I have a lot of board games. But the books I have on there, I've got travel books. I've got my nonfiction books. I've got my fairy tale kind of books.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got all of my SeasonAthon authors. Any of their books are also on this. Oh, and now I've also started a shelf, not really planned, and all the books are just kind of shoved in there, of my Jennifer L. Armentrout books. That woman wrote so many freaking books. I'm trying to read
one
all
I have
of
to find. I have From Blood and Ash somewhere wrapped up, and I need to find that because of a Polycon.
Good luck.
You might need to like start unwrap them. You just open them up and go like, do I need this? Close it back up.
Yeah.
Or,
For real though.
Just have some like extra tape on hand so you can tape them back.
Yeah.
Y'all are the best. I've got to head to bed. Too much to get done tomorrow, especially for a Sunday. Oh my gosh, it's almost midnight.
Yeah. I was gonna be like, it's like midnight.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, because I didn't have to go get Braden, I lost track of time. I still have 2 videos to film. A book haul, because I need more books. And I have 2 boxes.
Just make them really entertaining. Go grab another Angry Orchard. It'll be a grand time.
I have 2 book outlet haul boxes.
Ask if Barbara's in the box.
I had to have Xander carry the books upstairs. I'm like, can you like carry all these up here for me? I give you time.
I give you time.
I give you a whole.
That's why we also all have the giggles. It's midnight, and then Paige is feeding off of us because we're all laughing.
I'm just always chaotic.
Just like, I'm late now.
I'm just like, just chilling.
We're almost in the same day.
Yeah. Wait, I think we were all in the same day, weren't we?
I'm the 29th.
Oh. I was thinking it was the other direction.
No.
Okay, then in 3 minutes we'll be on the same day.
Yep.
It's a good day so far.
Good to know.
I'm just going to tootle down to my library book sale and see what I can find.
Grab all those hobs.
I will try.
She said she saw a box of hob peeking out, and she's like, I need them all.
I still have that one on my shelf too that I need to
New Year's first, and Hawaii gets it last. Even though they're like right there.
Yep.
Thank you, Kelly, for hanging out with us too. Mm-hmm. And Terrell, Andrew, and the other people that are not commenting. Barbara. Thanks for hanging out, Barbara. I know
you're doing well.
You really are, Barbara. Okay, this has been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed hanging out and chatting with you. And y'all are definitely welcome to come back and co-host again in the future if you would like. I'm opening up spots for the summer. Just let me know. And good luck with the rest of your reading this month. And good luck with your trip, Kimberly. And all your things, Paige. All the things.
All the things.
And thank you again, everybody that participated. I hope you had a fun time. Make sure you're subscribed to both Paige and Kimberly. They are linked down in the description below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you.